We're going. I like the aggressive. We probably got the great car. You can go tell all those guys up there they can suck in.
What we're about to do is not a good idea.
All good. What is he doing? You've got to be kidding me.
Half the pack is flying apart.
It's so nice to see you at the line.
Oh, pack of cars come piling in as well.
Come. Coming to light.
Hello, come back on him.
That was incredible.
Dude, nobody better. Nobody. Hell yeah, guys.
How's it going, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Welcome back to another NWP Wednesday night. I'm your host this week, Eric Giestep, joined as always by Danny B, Daniel Baldwin, off here to the far right side of the screen. On the far left side of your screen, I am flanked by the iceberg, Jarrett Lundberg. Oh, you're debuting the newly colored microphone phone screen. I'm seeing, Jarrett, the iceberg blue in all of its glory.
You can actually see it now, or it's just like I have a green screen on it and you just see it in the background.
Oh my gosh. Wait, it just puts like a hole in your chest?
I don't know. We have to try it sometime. I have a green one.
Oh my gosh. Multicolored, multifaceted.
That's when you can be Kermit the Frog here.
Kermit the Frog here. I get mistaken for Patrick Mahomes.
But we welcome everyone into the stream. I'm the host this week. It's great to have you all on my channel for the second to last time this year. It's one of our final shows of the year, gentlemen. We are getting down to the wire in the championship fight. We've all survived Talladega for another.
We got hot dogs in a chat for Martinsville this weekend.
Oh, man. Jared, I always ask you, what was your hot dog record in a weekend?
Oh, in a weekend? No, that was in a night.
Oh, Jesus.
That was a cold ass night in 2022 when it got down to like 30 degrees.
Your backpack was stuffed, but 50 in a night.
I had like all those hot dogs, and then I ate hot dogs and drank beer all night
over here.
Was this fueled by alcohol in any way?
No, the alcohol came to wash it down. So like it got more and more as the night went on.
We don't need to talk about anything that happened after those two mixed.
That's
no, man. I mean, after that, I just went back to the hotel with Eric, and I think we were staying in North Carolina at that time.
Yeah, it was.
That's what everyone does when you go to Martinsville. You don't stay in Virginia. You stay in Charlotte. You make a NASCAR weekend out of it.
It's a drive. It's a hike. It's a tough track to get out to, but it's going to put on a great show this weekend. We will talk Martinsville later in this show chat. It's great to see you all. See super chats already. We will read the first batch of those roughly 1 hour in our first super chat stage break. What's up, Jared?
Irvin said, so Iceberg can do the 999 baseball challenge.
Oh, you would kill that. You could go extra innings. You'd be fine.
I got to give that one a shot. Like, I mean, I used to joke that I was a fat guy stuck in a skinny guy's body. Now I'm just a fat guy.
Let's all fly out to San Francisco for a Giants game, right?
Danny is not taking this news well. Fun story. So I'm wearing a hat. I've been going and trying a lot of different restaurants lately. I got an Interstellar barbecue hat. It's a Michelin star barbecue place in Austin, Texas. So I went to Austin, Texas this weekend, completely forgetting that Formula One was in town, but bought tickets to my wife's a big Jonas Brothers fan, so we bought tickets to a Jonas Brothers concert. They were playing in Austin, couple-hour drive from where we live, and we bought these tickets months ago. And also, I remember looking at hotels months ago and being like, damn, I know Austin, a little ritzy, a lot of tech companies, a lot of money coming to Austin. These hotel prices are jacked up this weekend. And then like 2 weeks ago, I'm like, oh, shoot, it's F1 USGP weekend. So I was surrounded by Europeans eating some delicious Interstellar Texas barbecue. So that was my experience pre-Talladega. Got home back to Dallas just in time for the Talladega Cup Series race. But yeah, kind of a wacky coincidence there. Let's talk Talladega, gentlemen. We've stalled long enough. Let enough folks file in. Great race, I thought. As super speedway next gen races go, I thought this was wildly entertaining. Should we just start with the winner, Chase Briscoe? Qualifies on the front row, wins a stage, wins the race. Didn't feel like a dominant performance, but he was there all night. And Briscoe now makes it 2 JGR cars locked into the championship for Jarrett. Your reaction to Chase Briscoe breaking through once again?
I mean, it shook a lot of stuff up, that's for sure. But I mean, I've been on the Briscoe train since about, I would say, on this show since about the end of July. And and if you don't recall here, I also picked him as my championship win pick, like going in, right? And he's been super consistent. I would honestly say has performed the best over the last 8 weeks. And now finally, like people like you and me get to actually defend him because everyone's like, oh, Chase Briscoe, really? He's up there. He's competing for a championship. And it's like, well, I mean, like, guys, every system you can put up, and Chase Briscoe is either leading or second. Like he's just, it's his breakout year. And now he just has to kind of cap it off.
I know it's a completely different format, but the win at Talladega sort of, makes me think of this. This feels like Brad Keselowski in 2012. Like in a weird way, that championship almost felt a few years early. Like he had just burst onto the scene, wins a title, and has been scratching and clawing to get back there ever since. But Danny, your reaction to Briscoe getting his 3rd win of the season?
Congratulations.
Whoa, you're waiting to whip that effect out.
Yeah. No,
Our listening audience is confused. They didn't get the visual.
no, in all honesty, congratulations to Chase Briscoe. I think myself, maybe you guys, but several others rightfully were a little skeptical of him coming into this season. We didn't really see a lot out of him from his days at SHR. But then him taking over for Martin Truex Jr. and that was a team also you're like, I'm not sure if this team is up to par with, what's going to happen if in a couple of years this doesn't work out and we're trying again. No, it's worked out very well. He's had a very solid season, but capped it off at the right time. Now he gets a chance to compete for his first ever Cup Series championship. And that's what more can you ask for year one? You can't ask for any more than that, right? Other than winning the whole thing.
Yeah, no, I think at this point it's already a successful season for Chase
He's got
Briscoe.
a teammate that would rather him not win it this year. That's for sure.
Yeah,
that'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. As close as Danny has been all these years, and again, the new guy, Chase Briscoe, swoops in and beats him in his first attempt.
I think he's gonna have to go against 2 of his teammates. I would be very shocked at this point if Bell is not in there as well.
Yeah, it's going to. Well, we know at least half of the Final 4 will be Toyotas, Joe Gibbs Racing Toyotas, which is a far cry from last year. Remember last year, Joe Gibbs Racing got shut out of the championship 4. Tyler Reddick made it, Alliance car, but no Gibbs cars were in the championship 4. To your point, though, Danny, yeah, at the beginning of this year, I think my prediction, and I was considered an optimist, was make the playoffs, win a race or 2, probably make round of 12, round of 8. That seemed to be on the internet a fairly optimistic outlook for Chase Briscoe's inaugural JGR season, but he's blown that out of the water. And I think James Small deserves some credit as well, because there were questions about James Small coming into this year. Winless last year with Truex. They seemed frustrated sometimes behind the scenes, didn't see eye to eye. He always has sort of lived in Cole Pern's shadow, if you will, sort of was Cole Pern's understudy when he came on board. So I don't know. This seems to be his coming out party too. And a lot, I know Small and Truex almost won the title in 2021. It's not like he hasn't been there, but after a few wacky seasons, this kind of feels like his coming out party too.
Well, and we talked about that, like how the pairing hadn't been really going well for years. And you saw statistically, like since 21, it just sort of kept going down, down, down.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of us, because how good Truex had been as a driver for like a decade, had said, well, it's got to be the crew chief. Well, there's only been really one change with the team, and the performance has risen back up to where the 19 team should be. I feel like maybe a few apologies, if anything, should be given to James Small, because we were thinking it was Truex carrying him. It might have been the other way around. He made some mistakes, don't get me wrong, but I think a lot of that was also born out of just frustration between the two. I mean, by the end of Truex's career, like he was even openly saying, it's like, yeah, I don't even show up to have these meetings anymore. Like
he was phoning it in to some degree at the end. Whereas Briscoe, I think, is really like, this is his shot. He's young, wide-eyed, hungry, hasn't been there before. So he's putting in even more extra work that either Truex wouldn't do, or maybe Truex was one of those drivers who just never quite adjusted to sim life, He
was on the boat way before he was on the boat.
Yeah. Want to give a quick shout out before we move on to like major playoff stories and other big moments. Todd Gilliland gets his best career finish. Second place finish for the 34. Ty Gibbs ultimately gave Chase Briscoe the winning push. So on that last lap, you all have seen it, but it was the Hendrick cars on the inside lane. Larson runs out of gas, kind of stunts Byron's momentum, and that allowed the Toyota train on the top side to take over. And it was Briscoe to the inside of Bubba, Ty Gibbs with the push. So after questioning Ty Gibbs's teammate loyalty a few weeks back, I think some of those questions now have been answered. Bubba ends up fourth, Cole Custer fifth, which is a pretty cool finish for the 41 team. I think they were top 5 at Daytona a few weeks ago as well. So that's really
flying through, almost on the last lap. Looked like he could win it there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he made all of our playoff brackets nervous about 8 weeks ago. Carson Hocevar,
the Bowman fan who was hoping he would get in there.
Yeah. Carson Hocevar ends up 6th. Good run for him. And then I want to mention Zane Smith, top 10. So that's 2 front row Fords in the top 10 at Talladega. Good stuff there.
Well, I'll mention part of that too. And granted, we didn't see it in the last restart because it didn't have enough time to materialize. Because I think I was a little less optimistic on the race than most. Like I thought it was decent. I feel like the bar has been sort of brought down by the next gen a bit. But what I really liked about this race and the last 17 laps or so before the finish, I thought, or before the caution or so, I thought were awesome. Like I thought that was it was badass. You had the third line actually being able to be formed 3-4 wide. And don't get me wrong, it's not perfect. There's plenty that needs to be improved, like I was saying, but there is real improvement. And a lot of those guys got up there because you were able to make those moves when they were actually racing and not just when they were fuel saving. So it's like you're starting to actually see some of the better ones start to rise to the front again instead of just who's up there because of track position.
Yeah, I thought it was fascinating too. And we can sort of segue into talking about some of the playoff guys, but like Team Penske, they were fast as we expect, as usual. I think Joey Logano led 30 plus laps. He might've been the laps led leader in this race. I'm not sure. Yes, he was. Thank you, Jarrett. But they didn't get connected and they didn't have as much help behind them that restart with 17, 18 laps to go. And you saw Blaney and Logano kind of got pinned on that inside lane, stuck up against the double yellow line. And because that third lane was moving and new guys were flying to the front and dropping down in front of them, Blaney and Logano just got buried in not in lap trap, but buried in the pack. And as good as the Penske cars were, they could not easily get back up there and control this race. It was wide open there at the end. Won't say none, like you said, but less gridlock than in years past. But for the Penske guys, 16th place for Joey Logano, I think 23rd for Ryan Blaney. Danny, that's got to be a very disappointing day, especially when you consider Joey Logano only earned 5 stage points.
Yeah, it is. It's this final round has not gone the way that I expected for Penske. I mean, I had them both getting in, and at this point, I was looking at the Martinsville stats from earlier this year. I know Blaney usually shows up at this fall one. Guys, I don't see it happening this year, and that's probably spoiling a little bit for our picks at the end of the show. But I'll just say I'm not going with a Penske car in this one. So I don't expect it to happen. And so with that being said, I'm definitely wrong about my prediction of Joey Logano making the championship 4.
Is this some
dude? There's still a race to be run.
Yeah, I know this.
He's not winning Martinsville, guys. Logano's not winning it.
I don't know if reverse psychology works this way.
All right, I'm logging on to DraftKings to make a bet.
I will be very shocked if either of them wins it this time. I just do not see it. I know there's some. We'll talk about more later, but I think there's something about a tire being brought. The weather is looking cooler. Wacky things could happen. We'll see, but
this race is just a classic slip through your fingers race for the Penske guys. I mean, they had the perfect positioning. And to me, it's like a reverse of when Logano was charging up at the end of the Daytona 500, where Joey was way in the back and he had to find a way through. And that's when he, made a bit of a desperate move or was involved in one. And this one is just, he was the one being shuffled back. I think that's kind of the Achilles heel right now at the end of these races is you need the bottom line, but you can't let that top line get, ahead in any way, or they're just going to keep, running up in front, and you're just going to see over and over. And it reminds me of when they weren't tandem racing, the 2012 package. It was very similar. The bottom line, maybe it's less dominant now, but the bottom line, people wanted to get there. And then you just see like the guy who's leading before would just slowly but surely get buried in the back.
Now we saw a decent crash or two, but we never really saw a true like big one in this one, though, did we? This time,
Not in the traditional sense.
So that's what's even more incredible. We didn't really see that, and they still managed to let this one fumble a little bit.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, you lose points when you expect to be great at this track, and it wasn't because you crashed. It was just situational. Maybe you could say poor execution.
Like, you can't even blame, oh, we got in a crash. You can't in this case. You know?
Like at the end of stage 2, Joey said
Elliott
that he
can. Elliott can.
Joey said at the end of stage 2, he was kind of pinned on the outside and couldn't pit with Blaney when Blaney pit. And that was the same, cycle that SVG spun out and brought out a caution. And so Logano being out of position there at the end of stage 2 cost him track position, cost him stage points, most likely. So it's just, a number of factors, but it was never, to your point, Danny, it was never the big catastrophic wreck that hindered Team Penske, yet they come out of Talladega somewhat empty-handed. Let's talk about Hendrick real quick, because I mentioned it earlier. Last lap, Kyle Larson looked like he may be in position to finally win his first super speedway race, runs out of gas. Cliff Daniels more than a half a lap off on his calculations, stacks up the inside. William Byron then gets spun in the tri-oval, would have probably finished 5th or 6th, instead finishes like 25th, lost roughly 20 points there in the home stretch. A brutal couple of weeks for Byron. I mean, he had one of the best cars at Las Vegas. The Ty Dillon thing happened, and now Talladega losing points like that at the last moment. Jarrett, like, it's got to be tough if you're William Byron. Like, I'm looking at the chat. I feel for all the William Byron fans out there. This round has been unfriendly.
I mean, he's gotten taken out twice. I mean, just two weeks in a row where he the first week was probably at worst going to finish second. And then this week where he ends up, like, I think he went 5th to 25th in basically about half a mile. Not even half a mile, honestly, but just in the last half
fields.
Yeah. I mean, it brutal, I don't think covers it, because and the thing is you add those points, right? So there's 20 points he lost there. And then if he finished second, that's 35 points at Vegas compared to, like, where did he finish? Like 36th. So like, that's like another 34. I mean, that's like, let's just round a little here. That's like a 50-point swing that he probably should be in right now. And not only in, he should be ahead of the 2 that are probably in at this point, because I think he's the first one out. So it's I don't know what else to say other than it's just, you got 3 races to make it in. And when it's to a lesser extent, because he hasn't been as dominant this year, but it's Kevin Harvick 2020 in a lot of ways. The first 2 races are things completely out of his control. For Harvick, it was the aero package being just impossible to pass, and then them not throwing a caution for rain and mist at Texas. For this one, it's Ty Dillon,
terrorism.
Doing 2 lanes up terrorism and being spun on the last lap because of a bump draft gone wrong. Like, he did nothing wrong, and this it's frustrating, because I think he has proven through this first 2 he's been good enough to advance.
Yeah. Byron's been in a weird spot because he hasn't had great speed really the past couple months, but they brought it this round. Like, they brought it the last 2 weeks, and it hasn't gone their way. They suddenly aren't getting the finishes they were getting most of the. Like, they've dominated this year because they run 8th. They get 8th place finishes a lot. They haven't done that the last 2 weeks, largely for reasons out of their control. One other Hendrick car, Chase Elliott, entered this race in a pretty deep points hole to start with. Gets caught up in the biggest one we saw of the day early in this race. Unfortunately, he is now well below the cut line. Danny, I know you and your wife, or your wife, I guess, is a Chase Elliott fan. What's her vibe at with his playoff hopes now? They're on the rocks.
See, I think she's just okay with it at this point. Like, she's funny. She has told me several times that as the season has gone on, she's found herself almost wanting to be like me and pull for Bowman instead of Elliott this season. More so that he's felt like he needed a little bit more support than what people were giving him.
That's fair.
But no, for Elliott though, it was a bad weekend for him at Talladega, and I know he's won at Martinsville before, but I also just don't feel good about him being in a must-win scenario like that going into this one.
I'll push back a bit on that one. I was looking at the 6 that have to go in there. Elliott's last 3 finishes there are 3rd, 2nd, and 4th. I mean, he's been pretty damn
exactly. See, he can't win. That's what he needs to do.
But he's also led the most laps out of these 6. And that
leading laps don't win the race, Jarrett. That's what he's got to do. He's got to win the race.
You got to lead the most important one.
But I'm just saying, you bring that speed, you're gonna end up winning. He proved it at Kansas, right? You bring the speed, you're up top 5. Something happens, or you put yourself in position, you can win. I've surprised myself, and I think I've surprised a lot of people who previously called me a Elliott hater. I've been defending Elliott a lot in this. I am not writing him out. I'll just say that. You got to remember, last year, he was the one who was the one passed for the winning pass of the race at Martinsville, less than 15 to go. Right?
That's true.
That team has shown speed at shorter tracks and shorter ovals this year as well. So he's got to win. He's got to win. You know, he's the only one.
I'm kind of right in between the two of you, both literally on this call here and in terms of this debate. Like I agree with Danny. It's Elliott's not a must-win kind of guy these days, but I also agree with Jarrett that Martinsville is arguably his best track, and he will almost certainly be on that short list of guys in the mix. So if something breaks his way, I'd give him. I wouldn't count him out either. I guess I will say that.
I'm struggling to remember. I know he won in 2020. What he was in a must-win in that scenario as well.
Ooh, remind us. Yeah, I don't remember if it was must-win. It might have been just like a must.
All I remember is the Harvick desperation, but I don't really remember where Elliott was going into that one.
That was to make his first championship 4 appearance. So there was a lot of pressure just on that alone.
Okay, Peter's saying that he was in 2020.
It was must-win. Ooh, all right.
Yeah.
Okay. Something about this race, because I think Bell in 22 was almost must-win. Blaney the last 2 years has been borderline. Oh, man, guys, bubble drivers do well in fall Martinsville race the last few seasons. That seems to be a constant. Well, mention a couple. Oh, what is it, Jared?
Oh, go ahead. I think you're about to talk about what I was going to about same wreck as Elliott.
Yeah, we can talk about AJ Allmendinger took a big shot in that crash. He was unfortunately leading the race when Jones turned Gregson and they all slid up the banking into the outside. Well, it was a big hit for Allmendinger, who continued to roll towards the entrance of pit road. He got out of his car. You guys saw was laying on his back, had the wind knocked out of him, looked to be in serious pain. There was some commentary this week. It took, I think I read 45 seconds for the ambulance or the safety crews to get to him, which I think most of us would agree, not a super rapid response time. I would also say it's difficult considering his car was far from where the other cars in the wreck were. But I mean, it was a scary situation. I didn't know what you wanted to add to that, Jarrett.
I don't like when, because at first I was worried he was on fire, because like that car was on fire, smoking really bad.
It was smoking real bad, yeah.
And maybe part of it too is the previous 2 races we watched 2 drivers get hurt as well. The truck race with Norm Benning, William Sawalich going to be out with concussion this week. Fire is in those, in those 2 races and wrecks as well. So it was a little disconcerting just how, and it's probably too the NBC just like planted a camera right on him on the ground, like almost going into the fetal position in pain. I'm glad he's all right. I just, the other ambulance got out there fine, and when they approached him, like they're just sitting there, they're like kind of lollygagging, walking around. Like
it was a little lackadaisical. That's fair.
Like this dude's on the ground. Like this isn't even one of them that's like walking away. It's not like that one like in 14 or 15 with Bowman, where like the ones at New Hampshire tripped over the fire extinguisher, and this guy's on the ground. He might be really hurt. We need to get to him quicker. I'm with you there. Once they got there wasn't a lot of urgency. I'd say once they even got there, that's fair.
But fortunately, AJ seems to be okay. I haven't heard anything. I assume he's going to race this weekend.
I didn't realize he's that old.
How old is he now? He's like 40, 41?
44.
Oh, he's 44?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think he's gonna be like 44. Like, let me double check, but I'm pretty sure he's 44 and about to turn. He's 43, about to turn 44 in December.
Okay.
But he's basically 44.
Wow. So
And I
he's
was like, damn,
yeah.
he don't
Wow.
age.
He's been around a while. That's pretty crazy. One other noteworthy perhaps incident, Denny Hamlin locked into the championship 4 already. This was he was just playing wingman to his fellow Toyotas. And, if a win fell into his lap, I'm sure he wouldn't have opposed. But more mechanical issues for Denny Hamlin. Remember a few weeks ago, power steering failure maybe helped cost him the win at Kansas. And in this race, he was frustrated. I think he had an issue with like the starter at one point. And then at the end of this race, remind me, I didn't write it down. There was like a rubber buildup in the throttle body, I think that.
Yeah, he had 20%.
It's a stuck throttle or something.
No, last week he had 20% power steering failure too at Vegas.
Oh, did he? Oh, I didn't know
Or
that.
something like that. Or no, 20% or no,
that might have been Kansas.
Stuck throttle. But no, he had a shifting issue, I should say, at Vegas. You remember at the start his shifting skipped and he couldn't get it to 5th gear. So
I do remember that.
He had 20%. It was 20% stuck throttle this week.
Yeah, so that's like basically three of the last 4 weeks, some sort of notable mechanical issue.
I'd be worried. I'd be really worried. Like, you gotta. Luckily, he has time for them to like try and figure this stuff out. But like, I'm no expert, but it feels like a lot of these things are just not connected either. I don't know if it's just like weird happenstance or laziness on the pre-race checklist or something. Like, I don't know what it is, but I would be really worried because was it 2 years ago Christopher Bell lost his shot at a championship because the brakes blew out? So
he had a brake failure at Phoenix.
And there's desperation. He's got what, 74 races to go in his career. He's doing the countdown every week.
Yeah. And I see a few folks in the chat saying JGR's messing with parts. They're trying stuff. Well, maybe at Talladega, although I don't know what Talladega would have to do with the next few tracks, but not at Kansas, not at Las Vegas. They wouldn't have been trying something that they thought might break. So it is either to quality assurance at the shop, at TRD. Some of these parts, obviously, I don't know if these parts specifically are provided by NASCAR suppliers. So that could just be draw bad batch, unfortunately. Like that may not have anything to do with the team, but it is that it's happening so frequently. I think it no longer feels like strictly a coincidence, I guess. So certainly something to watch going into Phoenix.
I'm not so worried about them having a hiccup here. Going into this weekend's race, which is a lot more like where the championship is than any of these tracks that were in this round. If he seems okay in this one, which he led the most laps and won the race here in the spring, if he performs like that, I'll feel pretty good about Hamlin finally getting it done, in my opinion.
Yeah, Martinsville is going to be
kind of like Blaney, looking as good as he has in this one the last couple of years,
Yeah, no, Martinsville, it's the same rules package that they will run at Phoenix, but it's a very different track type. With that being said, we'll talk Martinsville more later in the show, but we can look a little ahead right now. Jarrett, do you have the playoff grid you can throw up on the screen for us?
Yeah.
Bang. Where is it at? Why do I not see it? Is it on screen?
It's on screen on my end. Well, now it's off. Now it's on.
Oh, I guess it's on screen. Okay. Chat, is it on screen? It's not on screen for me. This is weird. Denny Hamlin and Kyle Larson have advanced. Oh, there it is. Just popped on screen for me. Okay. Sorry, chat. Little lag on my end. Just I'm using Amazon Web Services this week, unfortunately, so everything's a little laggy. No. Christopher Bell plus 37, Kyle Larson plus 36, and then it's William Byron minus 36, Logano minus 38, Blaney minus 47. Kind of disrespectful, Jarrett, that you didn't even put Chase Elliott on the graphic. And in fact, in our notes, he didn't even put the points deficit. He just wrote oof. So
he's mathematically can't make it on point.
Just like 5 minutes ago, Jarrett, you're like, I don't know why Chase Elliott fans think I don't like their guy. And then you do this.
Is being realistic bad to them?
Hey, oof is the friendly version. You should have seen the version he showed me on his clip notes he has.
It's a 6-letter word starting with today's letter of the day is the letter F.
Well, you could say Elliott, yeah, his point situation is pretty effed this week. He's, I think, 60 plus points out. So
Yeah.
gonna need to win wholeheartedly, 100%. But put that back up on the screen for a second. I mean, we've already kind of talked about it. Byron's won at Martinsville. Joey Logano, Ryan Blaney. We know how great the Penske cars are at the short flat tracks. Chase Elliott has won at Martinsville. I mean, let's not talk about that because we're gonna make our win picks at the end. What about Christopher Bell and Kyle Larson? Because if Blaney wins his third fall Martinsville race in a row, those two are separated by 1 point for what would be the final spot. So who wins that matchup?
Let me see if I can. Bob put the clinching scenarios for both of them up on Twitter.
Oh gosh.
So let me hold, please, while I find that.
The only clinching would be winning, I assume, or finishing second, maybe with a lot of stage points.
So yeah, there's a certain amount of points that they can clinch with both no winner or a winner. Damn, Bob tweets a lot.
He does. Yeah, he's a busy man.
He's a very busy man. One of the best in the business, definitely.
Yeah.
God bless America. Geez, Bob.
Bob said one
same
day.
Article. Bob, well, I'm still on today.
I think it's crazy that Bell and Larson, they've both won at Martinsville recently as well. Like, I think that's going to be a really interesting matchup because I think Hendrick I think they've surprised some folks with some of their short flat track speed in recent weeks, but we've also seen the Toyotas, take over certain races. I mean, Denny Hamlin won the spring Martinsville race. Christopher Bell was in the mix at New Hampshire, but he didn't dominate like usual. So I think it'll be interesting if we get a new winner. If Blaney wins it again, for example, I think Larson versus Bell, that's a go either way game, quite literally.
So I got with no new winner, Bell just needs to get 20 points. Larson just needs 21 points. So, I mean, they could clinch that up with 2 stage wins. And for Larson's case, the fastest lap. Not saying it's easy, but both of them are pretty damn quick. And I think it's like Bell would need 54 points to clinch with without. There's nothing else that Larson could do if there was a new winner. And for Larson, I think it's 55.
I mean, that's almost max points. You got to go 1-2 in the stages and the race at that point.
So I mean, but the point side of it's there, sure. The only way I could see the other ones getting in points wise is if Larson and or Bell both had a catastrophic issue in the first stage.
Yeah.
And even then, like,
it's no guarantee.
Like if they get, if like they got 10 stage points and then finished 36th, they'd still have 11 points that you would add to that. I mean, look, putting this back on the screen, you add 11 points to all these guys behind him, and 47 points is what Byron would need. That's a top 5 and a bunch of stage points. Logano, same thing. Blaney, even more, same thing. I think actually for Blaney, he would actually then still have to win. So it's like, it's pretty much just going to be a go for broke race in a lot of ways. Yeah. And then the 5 and the 20 probably are racing each other via points because one has to make it in on points.
They're so fascinating because there's so many similarities. Their dirt career, they're back and forth at the Chili Bowl. Like there's so many similarities between those two rising stars. I mean, Larson's already here. I guess he's arrived as a star, but yeah, I think that'll be really interesting to watch that matchup. But we'll talk more Martinsville at the end of the show. We'll make our picks. Chat, get ready to make your picks. Danny's already tipped his hand a bit. He might leave at least one of the Penske cars available for y'all. Just so you know, chat.
I have probably the most important week of picks I've ever had in my life.
No pressure. It's really important for all of us. We'll look at the points later. It is close, much closer than it's been at least in recent weeks. So chat, start us scheming, if you will. I'm already seeing chat. Blaney's going to win. Elliott's going to win. It's like they're already picking, and we're not even close to that part of the show. But I like where their heads at. I like where the chat is.
They're getting the early polling in.
I'm not meaning to derail our conversation more than I have already, but I've been seeing on Twitter. Have you guys been seeing all the NASCAR drivers that are in jail? They need bail money right now.
We should have probably acknowledged that at the start of the show. Yeah, there are like a bunch of NASCAR Cup Series drivers. This is not a meme, in a cage somewhere.
It feels like a Mr. Beast competition.
What am I miss? I've been watching a 5-month-old today, so I'm out of the loop.
I'll just send this one
charity
to Honeycutt, and you can kind of see an idea of what they're doing. I'll send it in our chat real quick.
Ryan Blaney put out a really cryptic tweet, and that made me think he might be hacked. I was like, I'm scared to click that link. And then everybody else started putting them out and posting videos and photos. And then I realized it's not a meme. It's like actual charity event they're doing where you have to raise money
Yeah,
to
every
break
NASCAR
them out of
driver is in
jail.
jail right now.
Yeah. I'm looking at this. I actually had just seen I was watching an old race, and they actually did a for the woman that I think it's Brianne Davis. They actually did a behind the scenes with her before a race in like 2003. She used to work for Dale Earnhardt Incorporated in the engine shop before she became a NASCAR official, and then I think she had passed away shortly after that. I believe, if I'm remembering the story right. I recognized her face. I was like, oh my God, I was just reading about this one like a week ago. I didn't know this was going on.
Yeah. No, it's a pretty cool thing that it sounds like they're doing. I like Peter in the chat says Logano's in handcuffs currently. Man, NASCAR fans can only hope and pray.
But Kyle Busch should know what that's like.
Throw away the key. Oh, well,
Kyle, leave the gun at home.
Let's talk TV ratings. Cup Series race scored 2.55 million viewers on Fox. That's down 18% year over year. It's the third time in the last 4 years this fall Talladega race on big NBC has been under 3 million viewers. It was slightly up compared to 2023, that fall race. And you got to remember also these weekends are slightly out of sync. And I mean, it's a couple weeks later into October.
But it just still is not a good sign for a super speedway to drop double-digit percentages, you know?
Yeah, no, that's fair. Absolutely. The reason ratings, I think, are at the tip of a lot of folks' tongues this week is because Formula One was here in the United States. As I mentioned earlier, it was right down the street from me, and I was oblivious to it.
Shows you how much they're advertising it.
Yeah, I will say, so I think I've talked about this on the show. When I lived in Austin during college, F1 was not what it is today in the States. There's even like, COTA was not in the best financial situation for a stretch there. And so during race weekends or leading into race weekends, the billboards around town would, in big posters, Bruno Mars, Imagine Dragons, they were advertising the musical artist, and then tiny in the corner, Formula One. I was in Austin this weekend, and the billboards, it's Lando Norris, Max Verstappen, no mention of. I don't even know who played. I don't know if they had a musical act at COTA this weekend. So it was very emblematic of how the culture, at least in Austin, around F1 has changed in the last 5-6 years. But
it's amazing when you market your stars and you focus on pushing them to the forefront and not just doing the same thing since, forever.
Yeah.
It's amazing what happens when you market your stars.
Well, we'll see. F1's maybe taking some of the same plunges NASCAR made in 15 years ago. We'll see how it goes for them going forward. But yes, and then here and now, F1 doing solid for itself. They're a race that went head-to-head with Talladega on ABC, network TV, direct matchup, earned 1.5 million viewers, which was an all-time high. I think a slight increase over last year's event.
14%, I think it was. 14%.
Still a million plus viewers behind NASCAR at Talladega. But we know recent weeks NASCAR ratings have not been great. First on USA, even the NBC ratings a little stale. Not the drop we saw in USA, but certainly not surviving and thriving here. The Xfinity series, though, doing well for itself. They were back close to the 1 million viewer mark, averaged 980,000 viewers on the CW, peaked at nearly 1.2 million when Austin Hill crossed the finish line.
So they did get into the million range at least. They peaked there.
Yep. And one more note. This is what I mentioned earlier. The USA network portion of the schedule that is now concluded wound up down 22% from 2024. The cable races really struggled. Hopefully the next two races in NBC get back closer to normal, but time will tell. Time will tell. Regardless of ratings, we will be here to talk about it, and so will you. Let's go over the famous iceberg poll. Every week, Jarrett asks you all in his YouTube community tab what you thought of the most recent NASCAR Cup Series race. 11,000 fans voted post-Talladega. 23% of fans said it was a great Talladega race. 58% called it good for an 81% positivity rating. 15% viewed this race as average, and only 4% of y'all had a negative opinion of this race. Jarrett, what were some of the highlights from the comment section?
Well, just also say this was 7th of 14 Talladega races, tied with the 2020 fall race. 19th of 36 super speedway races. On top of that fall race, tied with the first summer Atlanta super speedway race and this year's Daytona 500, which was pretty highly rated
All right.
on the poll. As for the comments, first comment was from Vermonter. Was it positive, negative, or meme?
A little positive this week. Feeling good.
Go meme.
I just want to watch a race where the playoffs aren't mentioned more than the actual race.
Okay, that's a good
No.
negative one.
Fairly negative on that one right there. I was watching for that this week because I knew that was really prevalent at Las Vegas. It was less prevalent at Talladega, but it did come up a lot, obviously. But that is noteworthy. I'm starting to understand now how fans who are not big playoff format supporters, how they would be even more turned off by how playoff focused the broadcasts have become. Like I'd never really considered that, but now I kind of get it after the last couple of weeks of Las Vegas, especially.
Drinking game, your alcohol of choice is water. You still get drunk.
Mm.
Gooey Burger said that was a big improvement over the spring race. So positive with the top voted comment.
I would agree.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Kyle says, nice job, NBC. You missed the burnout. That wasn't the
Yeah.
only time this weekend they missed a burnout.
I didn't even notice
Yeah,
that. That's
I
crazy.
did think that was pretty bad. By the time they even showed him, it's like, oh, he's done.
Yeah. Marshall says Larson's controller died on the final lap.
Well, yeah.
User disconnected.
I saw somebody had edited the clip where he's just like, "Bye, guys," and then he just like goes off the camera. Evan says, "Holy crap, we actually had an awesome battle for the win." Which we did.
That we did.
Timothy says, "At least NBC didn't go commercial in the last 10 laps."
Yeah. And
God.
I appreciate that they did the side by sides for most every green flag break. That was
Yeah, but
nice.
it was just they weren't like Fox going to commercial with 7 to go or whatever it was in the spring. Oh,
was it
God.
which race? I think it was Fox that they went to commercial, and then like during the first commercial that was playing, a huge wreck happened, and they went ahead and played the full 3-minute break before coming back from side by side. Was that the truck race?
I thought it was the Xfinity race. It might have been all of them, honestly.
Maybe it was Xfinity.
there
I
were-
thought it was trucks. Look
The
at me. I'm
chat
just
will let us
conditioned.
know.
I'm conditioned to expect the worst from Fox broadcasts, so that's why I thought it might have been the truck race. Chat will fill us in.
Yeah, they'll let us know. Chevy Wolf is the gutter comment. So
Okay.
would have
what did
been
they say?
better with a more interesting winner. Truex is the real 19.
Oh,
It was the
Mm.
truck race. Okay, yeah, then it was Fox.
mhm.
It shows how memorable Fox is to me anymore. I
Yeah.
just can't even be bothered.
I only recognize Daniel Suarez as the true driver of the 19. Jeremy Mayfield, that is the true driver of the 19.
Mike Bliss.
All right. Well, that was the famous iceberg poll. We've got a couple other Talladega races to touch on real quick before our first Super Chat stage break. What more can we say about Austin Hill? 10th career drafting track victory, extends his all-time Xfinity Series lead. It just feels like no one in the field knows what to do with him. Like at the end of this race, I know he stayed out. There was some sort of varied pitch strategy there before the final restart, but coming to the checkered, it's Austin Hill with all his years of experience, best car in the field, and a couple of rookies behind him. And they raced him like rookies, trying to race each other for second, like they forgot they need to push each other to have a shot at the win. I just feel like I know we joke on this show, he's the big bully. He is legitimately bullying these younger, less experienced drivers at super speedways at this point.
I had the same reaction as Jamie McMurray did in the booth when it happened. Oh,
Yeah.
God. And it wasn't
He
even,
did.
I was
He was disgusted.
I wasn't even rooting against Hill. It was more just, guys, just line up and make a damn move. I was so mad after, and it wasn't because of the racing or anything, or it wasn't because of Hill winning. It was the dumb super speedway racing where I get that these guys are young. I get they're new to this, but come on. Like I feel like this is something that should go through everyone's head. Like, hey, maybe one, if we don't wait till the last freaking lap to do these things, like they seem to always want to do, maybe if we work together, we can pass the 21. Like he was not invincible. The RCR cars were not invincible in this race.
It's just insane to think about this fact here from Thomas the Tank Engine that if he just kept his composure and didn't right hook Eric Almirola at Indy, he's competing for a championship.
Yep. He is in the Owners Championship. The 21 car is.
He is in the Owners Championship,
So-
but let's be real. No one really looks at that and the drivers as much the same.
That's fair. No, yeah, it is. It's butterfly effect to the extreme, 100%. Want to mention a few fun underdog finishers. How about Cesar Baccarella finishing 5th? That's pretty awesome. Leland Honeyman 8th, Nick Lights 11th, Joey Gase 16th, David Starr 18th place finish for him. Solid top 20. Love to see that. Few big wrecks in this race. We saw Eric Almirola almost go airborne there on with a few laps to go. Huge hit down the back straightaway. Few big moments. Connor Zilic got damaged, got dinged in a couple of wrecks. This snapped his 18 race top 5 streak, which was also an Xfinity Series record.
No better
Jared,
than last Talladega race.
Yes, fortunately. But Jared,
Yeah,
you want to throw up
these.
the Xfinity Series playoff grid? They too are heading into an elimination race at Martinsville, which Xfinity and elimination races at Martinsville go hand in hand. Jesse Love plus 40, Carson Kvapil plus 11, Sammy Smith minus 11, Brandon
This
Jones
one
minus
could
20,
be
Sam Mayer
anybody.
minus 20, and Sheldon Creed, again, not pictured, minus 41. Yeah, this could be interesting because Sammy Smith there, minus 11. He put the bumper to the back of the 54 in the spring race, tried to win that race. So, I mean, this is
Even
this
if
could be
he's just
interesting.
second in this one, like that's probably getting him in, I think.
Yeah, man, it's going to be interesting. This is one where none of those guys are in must win necessarily. If something goes wrong with Kvapil, it's wide open.
The only guy who's must win, ironically, can't win.
It's Sheldon Creed. Yeah, well, yeah, he's been close here before. Maybe what if
You
this
can't
is the
afford
week?
second place against Sheldon.
That's a good question. No, this is a bad
And
question.
he
I'm not
got
even gonna
second
ask
in the
the chat.
spring. That's the crazy thing. You can't
I was
afford
gonna-
second again.
Danny, I have a question for you. Who is more likely to win this weekend, Sheldon Creed or Chase Elliott?
Chase Elliott.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Got him
my-
to
yeah, my
concede, Chase
answer.
Elliott fans. Well, yeah, it's going to be an interesting race. I mean, this race in recent years, whether it was Gibbs wrecking Brandon Jones for no reason at all, whether it was Creed versus Hill, Allgaier winning the race, this
Someone
race has
said-
resulted in some mayhem in the past.
Someone said the disrespect to Creed with a Hamlin 11 as their profile picture. Well, much like Hamlin finally winning the championship, I won't believe Creed's going to win a race until I finally see it.
With this Martinsville race coming up, I just, it's always going to devolve into what it always ends up being. I mean, I will say this. I think Homeland Security needs to put the phone down with the memes for a weekend and look at the domestic terrorism going on in Martinsville, Virginia in the
Just
Xfinity
park it in
race.
turn 3 and
Yep.
and you'll catch a few right there.
You will. I mean, it's absolutely insane. Every single year, somebody has to try and junk somebody else, and now you have. I mean, just putting it back up. I mean, look who is on this line and who is under it. The Sams are the ones you need to watch to
Damn.
sail it like
And-
10 car lengths deep that they shouldn't.
And we're not even factoring in the big bully himself just doing something just because he can for no reason.
I mean, could you
Yep.
totally see him moving
He-
his own teammate
He
out of the
won
way,
this race
needing
in
a win?
spring.
Could you see him moving his own teammate out of the way who needs a win? Because like, well, I mean, I need to win races.
He did it
You know,
before.
team games only go so far until it's me.
Yeah. Gosh, it's going to be crazy. Can't miss TV Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening on the CW. Gentlemen, let's quickly touch on the truck race as well. Gio Ruggiero, round of applause. First career Craftsman Truck Series win for Gio. That is awesome. Want to give a shout out as well to Lane Riggs had a big points day. We'll look at the points here in just a moment, but Raja Karuth had a great points day, was in the mix all race long, earned 18 stage points, gets a great result. So, yeah, some good runs for some of the playoff guys. Cool to see Gio get that win. And Jared, I know you mentioned this earlier, but there was a scary incident for your guy Norm Benning.
Yeah.
What's the update there? He's okay, right?
He's all good. He's all good.
That's good.
But that's
Tough as
that
nails.
was because I thought we'd get through the year without having too much Fox talk, because this is on Big Fox. It's the first time in like 25
Yeah.
years that all 3 races were on OTA networks.
Yeah.
And yeah, they didn't even follow up on it. Though they did. You know what? Norm Benning, scary crash. Oh my God, look at what's going on with so-and-so. And I'm just, listen, I know Norm Benning is not like some household name. He is not like the fan favorite out there that I don't know but whoever the hell they were talking about was. But it's just like I said it on Friday night. The way that the truck series is treated pisses me off because
Yeah.
I see how, for the most part, NBC, but especially Prime treats the Cup Series. I see how the CW treats the Xfinity Series, and it's not perfect. There's issues on every broadcast at some point, but Fox just uses it. To Fox, this is basically just paid programming. Like they could swap out a random commercial about knife sheaths or something, and they wouldn't know any different. And it should be. And this is the third highest series in the biggest motorsport in America, and we just treat it like it's garbage. We didn't even see the burnout of a first-time winner. We didn't get an update by the end of the broadcast, and a dude who basically turned into the freaking Human Torch on the backstretch.
Yeah.
I'm so sick of Fox. I don't know how I'm going to do 6 more years. And it was funny as the NFL fans are starting to get the same damn thing. You see the Jets Panthers game, like unfortunately some did.
Yeah.
Well, the freaking sound went out, and then it sounded like they were underwater for half of it. It's just
beautiful.
I'm sick of Fox. I'm so damn sick of Fox. And it went from Fox's dumb shenanigans to like just Fox just can't work. Like it's what works better, Apple updates or Fox broadcasts?
I'd take NASCAR 21 Ignition over these Fox broadcasts.
It's a competition sometimes.
Yeah, no, it's tough. It's just the CW gave the Xfinity series such a boost, so much juice this year. Dedicated commentators, its own graphics package, just energy. And I feel like Fox has every opportunity to do that for the Craftsman trucks. It's the Craftsman truck series, rugged, different, unique. People flipped on are like, what the hell are these things? Yeah. So much opportunity there. And they just like that comparison to paid programming is the most accurate comparison I have heard to describe Fox's truck coverage.
Imagine this is still the Camping World Truck Series, and we could have it on the CW, the CW Truck Series on CW.
Yeah. It's just I'm just beside myself at this point at some of just the terribleness. And then like, I mean, even compare the commercials that these companies do too. And you can see it clear as day. Like the Cup Series ones, the ones who care, like Prime, it's like commercials everywhere. Badass, make these drivers look as cool as they are. I mean, how TNT, NBC, when they do put commercials, does that. CW does that. And then like you look at the commercials that are serious for the truck series, and they're just like, regular season wins. That's cute. We don't care. Like that's literally a commercial says
that was a crazy commercial. I almost tweeted something.
Did you freaking let Mamba write that shit? Like, what are you be doing, guys? Well, I'm beside, like, I cover the truck series every single time they race. Mm-hmm. And half the races this year I've muted. And it's not even just Jamie Little, it's just in general. And I want it to be treated seriously. Yeah. I want it to be treated like the series it is.
We can honestly, complain about a lot of things about the way the series is broadcasted before you even get to the just choice at this point of who they've got as the lead commentator, because there's way more people that can identify that they could do better in that regards.
Just needs everything from the booth to the production. It just needs a little love, a little care, tender love and care. And we might have something here, but
Eric, forget the love. It needs a dang belt took to it.
Tough love. Tough trucks, tough love. There's the playoff grid.
I'm not doing gentle parenting with the truck series over here. Get the belt out.
Raja Karuth with that big points day is now plus 14. Our guy Raja, second in truck points with a real shot at the championship for that would be huge. He now has announced, we'll talk later, that he's going Xfinity racing not full time, but part time next year. Going to run most of the schedule. If not, sounds like he might be able to piece the whole schedule together with Jordan Anderson as well. So anyway, great truck series season for Raja. Tyler Ankrum quietly there, plus 8 points. Caden Honeycutt, again, driving the Friesen 52 is plus 5. Ty Majeski, Lane Riggs, 2 short track superstars, -5, -6, and then not pictured Daniel Hemrick, Grant Enfinger, the vets almost certainly need to win. They are 30 to 40 points out, respectively. So yeah, the Majeski and Riggs, as good as they are at short tracks, those two names right below the cut line loom. Can Ankrum execute? Can Honeycutt execute? Raja, just no disasters. Going to be interesting
See,
Friday evening.
I think of any of those not shown, Hemrick and Endinger, I would trust Hemrick most out of anyone on that to find a way to win the truck he's in.
Didn't he
him as a
win the spring
driver.
race? Was that Martinsville?
Well, I can go
Chat.
down.
He won the spring race, didn't he?
Yeah, because the 19 won back-to-back Martinsville
So
races.
if there's anyone that could be a surprise win and get in, it could be Hemrick this weekend.
Of the points group, my trust in them pretty much goes like most confidence, lowest on up for the most part.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
Like I want to try. I love Raja, friend of the show. He's been on this show almost more than any other driver.
He was one of our first guests.
Yeah, every time we see him at the track, he always takes
Very
time
cool.
and talks with us. We're all friends here. It's just he's run so mid pack up until these last two races, and he's turned it on.
This is what this system is designed for, you know.
I don't think I don't know if he can hold on to that. Like, I think he can be like bottom of the top 10, but that might not cut it.
He ran top 10 in the spring race. If he just does what he did in the spring, I think he's good. But
I mean,
if he flounders, he's not safe.
It's a long shot here, but there could be a scenario where Hemrick wins the race, Majeski and Riggs are second and third, and literally all three of the ones behind Heim could just be eliminated.
Honestly, that could happen. That sounds crazy, but it's not out of the realm of possibility.
Of the three in, who do you have the most confidence in? Because for me, it's Caden Honeycutt.
Probably because I remember he was battling. I know he's in a different truck, but he battled Heim for the win in the spring race and got into Heim and cut Heim's tire down. But they were battling for the lead, so yeah, I would say probably Honeycutt. But I like the 14-point gap for Raja. I think that's important.
Hold on one second. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, you know what? Actually, I'm gonna alter that. I'm gonna go with Ankrum on that one. Let's not forget he won Rockingham, a short track, and his teammate did win this race early in the year. So I'll go with similar equipment. I would go Tyler Ankrum in this list.
That's a fair point about his teammate winning here. That's a good point there. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I think, I know fans don't love the playoffs, but for this weekend, I think the playoffs are going to be fascinating to watch how, it's Cup side, it's a little more simple, but especially trucks and Xfinity, it's going to be fascinating to see if these guys can hang on, overcome, and so on.
Is it bad that I think the Xfinity race will probably devolve worse than the truck race will?
It's been known to. Last year, the truck race was kind of spicy, right? Wasn't this a Taylor Gray and who was he mad at last year?
Yeah, I remember.
Was it Riggs?
I don't remember the name.
He was mad at Lane Riggs, wasn't he? Am I crazy? Oh, now I can't even remember. Chat. Who was it? Who was? I just have this image of Taylor Gray marching down Martinsville pit road with the glare in his eye. Who is he pissed at? Oh, Eckes. That's right. That's right. Such an unlikely duo to be at odds. But that's what this track's all about. Unlikely rivalries rear their ugly heads. Like Brandon Jones getting wrecked by his teammate who had nothing to gain. That's so crazy. Anyway,
or Sheldon Creed getting wrecked by his teammate
and then insulted by his owner, and then his owner calling him out. Yeah,
and the lead and the head of competition.
Crazy. Not Andy Petrie's finest moment there. Well, we are almost exactly 1 hour into the show. Chat, thank you so much for hanging out with us. It is time now, finally, for our first Super Chat stage break of the evening. We're going to bang through a bunch of these over the next few minutes. Thomas the Tank Engine kicked us off pre-show saying the only valid reason to discredit Briscoe as a championship contender, his hairline. Bald, my eyes. I only wanted to read it because I wanted to do the SpongeBob voice, but yeah, that's just disrespectful.
My leg.
Joshua Boston with a few back-to-back here. Appreciate that, Joshua. Ratings for Talladega were down, so that makes it 8 out of 8 playoff races with poor ratings. I think someone's going to get fired during the offseason. Ooh, that's spicy. Also says in full season points, we'd have Larson leading by 1 over Byron and 6 over Bell. Briscoe and Blaney are both 41 back, and Hamlin is 55 back heading into the semifinal race. Who wins the title in a full season format? Ooh, I'd like Bell. If he's only 6 points behind the leader, I like Bell to go up and get it the next 2 weeks.
Give me Larson. I'll go Larson.
Fair enough. What about you, Danny?
I'd join you on the Bell.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
Should
Then
Should I ring it?
Joshua says,
Might as well,
finally,
we had 2 out of 3.
my final 4 picks are Hamlin, Briscoe, Bell, and Larson. Trends this year show the bottom 4 heading into the final race of each round stay there. My Cup champion prediction is Larson. So going chalk at this point. Status quo. Santa Claus. Santa knows you've been waiting and will be revealing the naughty and nice list over these remaining 3 weeks. Hashtag keep the playoffs. Hashtag Santa stands with 2311. All right, Father Christmas. Let's see what you got. Tyler Dotson says, let's go Blue Jays. I got to admit, a small tear came to my eye. Got all sentimental seeing George Springer Game 7 playoff moments. Saw a couple of those back in the day as well. Jeff,
I don't see them beating the Dodgers, but that's a fun team to have in there.
I'm pulling for him. Jeffrey King says Logano is inevitable and he will win. Mwahaha. He's got a Chase Elliott profile picture. Come on, Jeffrey. Is this again kind of like reverse jinx? Anyway, Alex Luft, thank you for the 10. Here's a fun fact I just discovered. Logano, while he has no wins in the next gen at Martinsville, he has all top 10 finishes. Look it up if you don't believe me. Logano is my dark horse pick. It's hard for that bright yellow car to be a dark horse. Doesn't get overlooked too often, but it's a good stat. That is a fun fact there, Alex. Palm Tree 82 says 2 Chevys, Dylan 1, kept the 24 in the championship for last year. 2 Chevys, Dylan 2, are keeping the 24 out this year. Yin and yang, balance in the world. Damn, that's an interesting way to look at it, I suppose. The Chevy blockade went around and came around, I guess. Another one from Jeffrey King. Briscoe, I feel, is about to go off the next 4 years. I think he'll win 10 to 12 races in that span. I could see it. 3 wins a year on average? Absolutely. Ryan Idius says, people, the stream isn't late. It's 1 minute past the hour. Yeah, chat loves to get on us for our punctuality. If we are even a second past 8 p.m. Eastern time before we go live, chat is on our ass. We love it, but also it drives us a little crazy. Thanks for calling it out, Ryan Idius. Tyler McGonigal, thank you for the 5. My pain is immeasurable and my year is ruined. Byron has had the worst luck in the playoffs. It sucks. I mean, yeah, last 2 weeks, it's pretty brutal. I'm thinking about all the Byron fans out there. A few more here. We got Bailey Reichert says, imagine pushing your teammate to the Final Four before you even win a race. I mean, I will say, if JGR gets 3 cars in the championship 4, how much worse does Ty Gibbs's non-playoff season look by comparison? He won the tournament. He won the $1 million bracket challenge, so I guess it wasn't all bad. Tyler McGonigal again says, if you want to see something interesting, look up the Piston Cup wiki and look at the 2025 season. Really cool thing I came across today. Someone pull that up because I want to know what he's referring to.
I'm looking it up.
I want to do a few more here because I know we got a lot. Jeffrey King again says, Elliot.
Specific they want us to read because it's a lot of stuff.
We'll peruse it. Chat, let us know if there's anything worth seeing. Jeffrey King says, Elliott can win 30 races by the end of his career, but AI said no. Oh, did like ChatGPT predict a downward spiral for Chase Elliott? That's unfortunate. Justin Drake with the 20. I think the reason why my guy Briscoe doesn't get the credit he rightfully deserves for his 3 wins is because he's not the other Chase in Chase Elliott. Briscoe had to get to Cup the hard way with no famous last name. Oh, shots fired from Justin Drake, who's been spicy in the chat the past few weeks. Not taking a shot at Elliott here, but no, Briscoe's work ethic, he has grinded, been so close to falling out of the sport several times throughout his career. I mean, he does deserve a ton of credit for getting as far as he has. We'll do just a couple more here, I promise. Bailey Reichert, who would have thought Briscoe would go from cheating at Charlotte, not getting a top 20, to cheating / getting the biggest penalty ever, to being a Final Four driver and maybe a champion in 2 years. Yeah, last year, what didn't he get, like the 120-point penalty for some sort of parts modification that Haas did? I don't remember what it was. It was early in the year. Yeah, no, quite the rise. This has been an amazing first year with JGR. BGWX Chasing says, as a Kyle Larson fan, man, it was painful seeing him run out of gas. I was going to see my favorite driver win in person. Hope Denny wins Phoenix for his dad. That's very sweet to see a Larson fan and Hamlin fan sort of coming together to pull for each other. That's nice, but yeah, tough to see your favorite driver lose it on the final lap. Blue Jimmy fan says Hendrick choked like the Giants, giving up 33 in the fourth quarter. There's our
That's
football
real.
reference.
Yes, it was crazy what happened.
Yeah.
But they didn't. They weren't down. They didn't give up a 33-point lead though, right?
They
think it was
gave
like
up a 19-0 lead.
Oh, okay. So I just wanted to know the Vikings record was still intact.
But they literally allowed 33 points to be scored on them in the fourth quarter, which was insane.
We'll do 3 more here. Super chats. Hunter Nixon Fishing says, last few weeks of NWP, and I am unwell. Off season is short, Hunter. It won't be long, and we'll be back on your screens probably late January. Honestly, might even do a Christmas. Maybe we'll do a holiday episode to tide y'all over.
Ho ho ho.
Yeah, depending on what happens with this lawsuit stuff, you might see us come at you with a special event.
Tim from Tennessee, this is a hot take here from Tim, says Dale Jr. has lost the plot. He promotes Jerky Boys / Filter Time like his life depends on it, but craps on the sport that made him hundreds of millions of dollars. Whoa. I mean,
I don't know if he craps on it per se.
I wouldn't say. I think he's done a lot of positive. I mean, he's almost single-handedly responsible for getting North Wilkesboro Speedway back on the map, and that's been a highlight the past few years. His Xfinity team his Xfinity Series team has had tremendous success and has launched dozens of careers at this point. I wouldn't go that far. But
Well, and he was a huge force with iRacing getting the game and making it, and it's been pretty positively reviewed. So
and side note, his life does depend on him promoting those sponsors because there's contracts. He's kind of required to do that. So
I think
can't fault the guy.
One of them, or both of them.
Yeah,
he owns both of them.
We'll wrap up here. Another kind of spicy one from our friend David Bell sent a 5 and said, Eric, I always loathe your power rankings. What are you doing? Laughing, crying emoji, and then a thumbs down. Hit me with that one meme. I think it's like a Yankees fan who's just like this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking of Patrick.
Yeah, that works too. Man, I don't know. I stand by my power rankings every single week. I think they are the foremost authority on all things power and all things rankings. So if you disagree, maybe look in the mirror. There might be something wrong with you, not my power rankings. They can never.
It's not me. It's the children who are out of touch.
Exactly. Thank you. I'm glad you said that, Jared. That's exactly right. Okay. All sarcasm aside, thank you all for all the super chats. We appreciate the support. That was a fun super chat stage break. We will get to the remaining super chats and any additional ones that come in at the end of this show, but we need to move on to the lightning round. That's the one thing we need next year is we need an actual like sound effect for the lightning round. I'm embarrassed that I do it with my mouth every single week. Don't take that out of context. Go ahead, Jared. What's next?
I wasn't even thinking that for a moment. First off, we had the NWP Clips channel where we re-upload and everything, and we'll probably add more to that as the off-season and season next year comes on. But right there, we got a QR code for it. We're almost at 500 subscribers for this just upstart.
Oh, damn.
So
hey.
Yeah, maybe at some point we should just simulcast on it or something. We'll just double up. But if you haven't, if maybe you're listening on Spotify or Apple or you're catching this later and you never can know when we're going to be live or whatever, you can always catch it on there the day after. I think it's always up at like 7 a.m. Central Time the next day. So it's like, it will be on your subscription feed. Just want to let you know. Kind of off topic. Formula One has signed a 5-year deal with Apple TV to be the sole broadcaster of their series. And on top of that, you also now have to pay $10 a month for an Apple TV subscription to get F1 TV.
That don't sound like a good idea, guys.
There won't be commercials during the racing currently, but apparently there will be more commercials during every other part of the broadcast. F1 fans are not happy, and they're doing the same it is a speed run of early and mid 2000s NASCAR. Like it's just it is just like, oh, it took NASCAR 3 years to do this step. We can do it in one.
We can do it in 3 months.
Yeah. So there is that might be really big for the motorsports landscape of the next 5 to.
It'll be interesting to watch because that contract and NASCAR's current contract will expire nearly the same time. So it'll be really interesting to see, do they thrive under that platform? or does NASCAR hang on better than expected? It'll be interesting to see, like when NASCAR's due for their next renewal, they'll now have kind of an F1 example to really look at. So we'll see how it goes.
I'm gonna be honest, man. I think as long as they don't step on their foot like they always seem to do, I think IndyCar is the ones that are the best setup. I mean, they got the entire broadcaster that is literally pushing them.
From a growth perspective, yes, but we'll just see if that growth turns into money in the future, because they'll need more money, especially if Honda really has one foot out the door.
Apple TV, though, they tend to kill sports properties that join them. The MLS famously was like surging in the late 2010s or so, maybe mid 2010s. They signed with Apple TV and go into complete irrelevancy in America. And I just think 5 years behind that paywall, it's not like it's Prime where it's the best either.
Yeah.
It's like,
good question by Fishing of Car. Do you have to have an Apple product to have Apple TV? I don't think so.
I think it's separate.
So.
I could get it on my Samsung TV.
Just its own like streaming app, kind of like, YouTube TV is.
NASCAR revealed the street course for the San Diego race. We have it up here on the screen.
Where are we dropping, boys?
Yeah, doesn't it look like a Fortnite map?
That's what I thought was my first impression. I saw Ryan Preece had the same first reaction as well. So it's universal, but it looks cool. Yeah, fun layout.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that thought that.
Yeah.
Is Coronado Chicane going to be like where you can see water, I guess?
I think the whole like north side of this map is basically against the water.
Well, is that the side too that has like which corner is it that has like the jets next to it? The good jets, not the football ones.
Well, that would be carrier corner, right? Where all the aircraft carriers are.
Those will have the big aircraft carrier ships if the rendering is accurate, which looks awesome. But I think it's more like turns 11, 12, maybe that stretch is where the jets were parked. But again, TBD. I don't know. Maybe they'll park them somewhere else.
I think there'll be a lot of good places to be, and it's incredible to me to see how many buildings are going to be inside of this. And you have to imagine like this could be good for like those whatever these places are to like have a chance to set up shop during this time.
Now, important to note too about this weekend, if it hasn't already been like further announced, there will be no spectators allowed at the truck race. It is a date on the base for military families, and it's been that way long before NASCAR got there. So it is military and military families only for the truck race. Which, let's be honest, more people will probably be there than if spectators were allowed.
Yeah.
It's just how it is now. Now, voting has opened up. Maybe we can roll a poll with this one. Voting has opened up for the tri-oval grass design of the Daytona 500. We have option A, the World Center of Racing. This one's my vote. I would love to see a picture of the starting grid from the W of World to the G on racing.
That'd be pretty cool. Yeah.
I know you guys really like B, sky formation with the jets and stars.
I think Thunderbirds.
That's the exact like path that they take right over it. I really like the way that looks.
Yeah, talk about cool pictures. You might get something cool with that.
And then C, legendary stars, which we kind of all agreed this would fit perfectly if they still had the 4th of July race.
Yeah, this one's almost too patriotic for being in February.
Which I mean, not July American race. I do get it to that point.
That's true.
But I personally just like B. I think the flyover is such an iconic thing at Daytona.
Yeah, I asked the chat AB, or keep flipping through them, Jarek, because I asked the chat what they think. I agree.
They're
with Danny.
overwhelmingly
I like
going with A, but I still like B personally.
Well, you can officially, I don't know, we don't have a link to the website, but I think on Twitter or somewhere on Daytona, probably go to Daytona's website. You can actually vote for which one you want to see.
The only thing I don't like about those fan vote things is that NASCAR makes you sign up for like 1 million emails that they send you. And I'm like, I'm not signing up for that crap.
How do you think they get to market people,
Let me vote on grass, please.
My grass.
Yeah, chat leaning towards option A. 52% say A, 39% B. Not a lot of love for option C, sadly.
They hate America.
HBO Max has increased their prices. Jeff Gluck had said that it'll now cost $185 a year if you want to watch the in-car camera views on there, which
I think right now it's like $155 maybe.
So it's only like probably $2 a month, but still it adds up.
Oh yeah.
If you really want that, you can justify that cost, but it depends if you really want that.
Or if like you
You
use
do-
it
you
like
do-
to cover the sport.
And you still get like the rest of HBO. I like HBO Max actually has usually been my favorite streaming service. They've always had a lot of things on there I really like. Now that's changed recently. So I like HBO Max, but if you're not into what some of the HBO stuff is, then to each their own.
And then the 2027 Daytona 500 has been moved a week later. It's to avoid the Super Bowl, which will be on Valentine's Day. I guarantee that's going to end up that's going to spark a lot of divorces. The Super Bowl on Valentine's Day, which would be great because my team sucks ass. So like I'll be able to take my wife out and have no traffic.
Yeah,
either. It'll be amazing.
My team, well, none of our team has a prayer being in that. So
No, but next year will be the year that the Vikings go like 15-2 and then get bounced in the wild card because that's what they always do.
I'll just be happy if we win 4 games.
They're freaking regular season merchants every other year. They're like Logano, except they don't win. But yeah, that's going on February 21st. Going to be interesting to see how the schedule shapes up because of that. Interesting to note, the NFL had actually announced today the Pro Bowl games, which is so stupid. They're moving the Pro Bowl to the week of the Super Bowl, like during the week. I'm assuming for more marketing. So, but they're still doing the week between. I think still doing the week between the championship games and the Super Bowl. So like there's a wide open space right there. Like if NASCAR elects to do so, if they keep like a 2-week window, probably like to rest players and other things, like that might be a really good window for NASCAR to start out, maybe do a Saturday night or like a noon race at Atlanta the next week, the same weekend as the Super Bowl. You can still kind of compact your schedule, but you don't have to give up any races.
Yeah,
It's
that could be an option.
And then after that, next week, where's the graphic? Will be on my channel, October 29th, 8 p.m. Eastern time. I also found out way too damn late in the year that I could also just add this too.
Oh, look at that.
Nice and sporty.
Is that our Halloween episode? Do we need to be dressed up this year for that?
Well, maybe. I don't know.
I'll be dressed up for Groovy Hollow the night before. So I can carry that costume over.
Could be a lot of stuff going on that week. Gonna be a lot of fun.
Busy week.
But that was the lightning round.
Heck yeah, which means it's now time. Keep the graphics rolling, Jarrett. It's time for the headlines. And we've got a few free agent feeding frenzies to dive into here. Thought silly season was quieting down, but the truth is it is not.
Oh, if anything, it picks up around this time of year, guys.
Especially in the Xfinity and Truck Series. That's very true because it's the wild, wild west down there. Guys will have handshake agreements, and then someone with a bigger check comes along and boop, you're gone, you're in. Oh, wait, another bigger check. It's like fish eating a bigger fish or whatever. I don't, like the food chain down there is wild. We'll start with the big news today. It's officially official that Daniel Suarez will drive the number 7 Spire Motorsports Chevy full-time in 2026. Quick.
I don't think anyone saw this move coming, guys. Are you guys surprised by this?
25th in points, 1 top 5, 3 top 10s.
Ooh, that's a little low on the top 5s and top 10s. But I would say 25th in points, 6 top 10s. We'll go there.
Honestly, to me, this move feels like a horizontal move on Spire's part, like not really going to get much better. And for Suarez, it's definitely a downgrade.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll just see if Spire, I remember a couple of us had Spire drivers in the playoffs this year. That obviously didn't work out. Like we all kind of hoped this would be the year Spire takes that leap. Maybe they took a small scoot forward, like Hocevar showing winning speed here and there. Can next year be the year they take a jump? Because I agree with something Suarez said today that Spire is one of the most rapidly ascending teams in the Cup Series. I think I would agree with that right now, but they still have a ways to go. And I don't see Daniel Suarez being that missing piece that puts him over the top.
Can they just keep a crew chief the whole year?
Oh, yeah. I just think if anyone's going to get that team a win, it's going to be Hocevar first. McDowell might have a chance on like a super speedway or road course. Suarez is going to take,
probably a perfect
race
Atlanta,
at the right track, Atlanta or something like that.
Yeah, he's been good at Atlanta.
I personally, and it's a long ways away. We don't know how this is going to go. I think I'd just be shocked if Suarez wins more than one or two more races in his career, if even that many.
I'll be shocked if this lasts longer than 1 year. This screams to
Yeah.
me 1 year done, and then they're
Yeah.
going to go big game hunting in next year's silly
'Cause
season.
I don't know what Kyle Busch looks like long term with RCR, and them having a good relationship of Kyle having, originally bought his old KBM
True.
shop. I know there's a connection there. He's ran some truck series events for him. I have to think that could be someone that they've got their eyes on for when he becomes available.
I think Jim
think
Pullman
so,
will make a
too.
difference.
Yeah, Jim Pullman to Richard Childress Racing. He will be Kyle Busch's crew chief next season. He'll be leaving Junior Motorsports and Justin Allgaier, where he's had a lot of success the past
If they make
3
enough of
years and
an
counting.
impact there, then I'd bring them both in.
Yeah, bring Pullman and Busch over to Spire. Man, suddenly RCR is the little guy everyone's getting poached from. Man, how the mighty have fallen. But yeah, I mean, realistically, I think RCR has bigger problems than simply Kyle Busch's crew chief. But Jim Pullman's been at RCR before, was part of their R&D efforts when the next gen was in its early stages of development. So there's some familiarity with this car there. He's had great success at JRM. He's now had experience at a winning team, winning culture. Kyle Busch seemed very involved in the interview process, the selection process. So if he's bought in, that's a good sign. It's a big year next year for everyone on that team. Can RCR get back to form? Can Busch either get back to his old self, sign a long-term deal with RCR, or position himself to go to a place like Spire? Like, can he prove he's still worth something? There's a lot on the line, I think, for that whole number 8 bunch next year. What are your thoughts, Jarrett?
Doesn't matter where he finishes in points, 1 win. If he wins, it's a successful season.
Yeah, that's fair.
Kyle Busch fans have lowered. It's amazing to me because I remember 5 years ago, Kyle Busch fans being like, "Man, we finished second. This sucks." And now they're like, "Oh my God, guys, we finished 8th at Talladega or whatever."
Free
queso.
Like,
Hey, matter.
Hey, Funk still got it. Get the free queso.
Yeah. So it's like, a win is a success. I don't care if he finishes 25th in points. If he goes and balls out at Kansas or something and gets a win, that is a successful season for Kyle Busch to me. I think RCR to me is not a bottom up problems where it's like, oh, it's just the guys at the bottom. You need to move pieces. It is a top down issue with that organization, and no crew chief or driver is going to long term fix that. There need to be some major swings at the top to really make a big difference. They might make a decent difference, Pullman and Busch together. I don't think it makes enough of a difference for, like, if they keep the same format next year, I don't think he points his way in. I'll put it like that.
Fair enough.
Guys, something we're not really talking enough about, and if we're literally talking about Suarez, we're talking about Kyle Busch's future, but what does Justin Haley do at this point? Because think about how fast his career has changed. He was at one time the franchise colleague racing driver, got away from them, took a chance on a partnership between Rick Ware Racing and RFK that did not go the way that either camp thought that it would. Then took another chance on being the Corey LaJoie Band-Aid, and that didn't end well. What does he even do at this point?
Can't go back to colleague. They pretty much said the end is full.
Yeah,
And there's rumors that they may even want to get away from the Xfinity Series in general to focus on their truck program.
Yeah. No, it's tough out there for Justin. I think his opportunity, if it comes, will come in the Trucker Xfinity O'Reilly Auto Parts Series next year, which can kind of lead to some of these other announcements here. Maybe we can put some pieces together. Brendan Queen, Butterbean, the ARCA Menard Series champion, former Cars Tour late model stock champion. He is going full-time Xfinity. I'll still call it Xfinity for now. Xfinity Series Racing next year with Colleague Racing. I'm sorry. Truck Series Racing, not Xfinity Series Racing.
No.
Craftsman Truck Series Racing, my mistake. Which is exciting. I think he's going to be great. He's going to be like the anchor of the new Ram Trucks Colleague program, which I think could be really great for both parties. Raja Karuth, we talked about this earlier, will go part-time Xfinity Racing. That one I'm right on. Xfinity Series Racing with Junior Motorsports in the number 88. And it sounds like he's planning to try and fill in remaining races with Jordan Anderson racing, likely in the 32 car, like we've seen him do a couple times in the past.
I think it was a live stream he did. He pretty much said it without saying it, and then he kind of went like, "That's the plan" on Twitter when somebody asked about it. So,
how many races is he getting in the 88?
They have not announced.
He said the majority of the schedule, but that could be 17 races.
One of those deals that's like, okay, give him a chance because if he sneaks a win somehow in the 88, and he might because it's the best car in the field right now. But if he sneaks a win, then you're going to be like, well, we don't want to just be screwed in the playoffs, do we?
JRM intrigues me for next year because
their lineup is wild.
Because you have SVG and Ross Chastain splitting time in the 9, or so are they how many full-time cars are they even running next year? Because they can't run the full schedule.
One of Quaffle.
No, they did say
they don't even have the full one of Quaffle because he's split out one. And
they did say with them in the 9 that there are possible rule changes really coming down the pipe when it comes to Cup guys maybe having more races, so that might cover more of it. But does the 88 become the all-star car in the races Raja doesn't have that Zilich will come down to, or
and there's a Hendrick car that someone's going to drive for at least some races, if not the full schedule.
Sounds like Corey Day has the 17 full-time next year.
That's been the leading candidate for sure. But no, you're right. Like Junior Motorsports, Allgaier will be in the 7. I think they said Sammy Smith will be in the 8.
He's got pilot money, so he's all good.
But that's it. The 1 will be split by Quapple and Zilich with Rodney Childers on the box. Wacky trio there.
That one. This is weird.
The 9 will be split by SVG and Chastain. Is that a full-time car, part-time car? We don't know. And the 88 will be split by Raja Karuth and drivers to be named later. Like it's potentially 5 cars, but only 2 full-time drivers. So it is a little wacky for sure.
You know what that's going to do too, regardless, if they do, whatever, playoff, chase off, full season, whatever. How many guys in the O'Reilly Auto Parts series are going to be legitimate guys to watch for the full season?
Yeah, I'm wondering the same exact thing. Because if you take Zilich out and you take Quapple out, supposedly, I mean, those two guys are currently in the championship 4 as they stand.
And I don't think Raja gets too far when you have the other end of his deal being Jordan Anderson Racing.
It sounds like, Sam Hunt is looking at working with Harrison Burton, and there's a whole unknown factor of Corey Heim that we're waiting to hear about.
So Sam Hunt, by the way, this
311's teasing something. Don't know what that is.
They're teasing something. And I know there are rumors with that one. Maybe reckless speculation here is a Heim Xfinity ride, which would be amazing. I think he deserves that.
He's never going to get a JGR car. We can just say that.
But on here, where'd it go? Joseph Serguli had put this out that Sam Hunt Racing on Saturday at noon Eastern time is going to have an Xfinity Series announcement. I would assume that's a driver announcement, but
likely
maybe it's. I mean, there's been rumors around them that they might want to try and do some Cup racing. So I don't know what the hell is going on at this point.
Could combine that press conference with the 2311 post today? Is there a deeper relationship being formed there? That could.
I think that one's got some legs to it personally.
Yeah, I think I'm just doing the math here. I mean, I do agree. Harrison Burton fits into this somewhere. It sounds like so. Maybe that's all this is. Maybe this is simply a Harrison Burton announcement. But yeah, there's a lot of wacky stuff out there.
You got the void. I guess it leads right into the next part. The void that possibly colleague might not have. O'Reilly series team,
and I've heard that is
weird to say, man.
And I've heard that is guaranteed at this point. Like colleague is going to be trucks with Ram and Cup with whatever little to no Chevy support they still may get. So yeah, that leaves Eckes and Daniel Dye without rides. Although Dye to truck seems likely. Eckes could follow him to the truck program. We'll see.
That was the rumors that I saw with that, and there's been a bunch of these different ones kind of corroborating it back and forth. Is Eckes and Dye are expected to go down to trucks, being the full-time Ram side of it. They're going to be down there with Butterbean. And there's 4 drivers rumored for them to try and bring over. I think they have 5 teams, so there's 2 rides left for them to bring in. Grant Enfinger, Daniel Hemrick, Tony Breidinger, or Jeb Burton.
Even if her performances aren't that good, Breidinger is a for sure go get her because of how much funding she seems to bring.
Maybe. How much funding does she bring? If she can buy the seat, go for it, I guess. But
She keeps getting the most random new sponsors into sport, Raising Cane's.
yeah, a
Victoria's
lot of those are
Secret,
like
you know.
a lot of those though are personal deals. So it's like obviously she's been in a Tricon truck this whole year, so she's and Venturini before that. So
Yeah,
she's
she
obviously
is in the
bringing
best
money
equipment
to.
there is, literally, with what Corey Heim is.
So competitive in 26th every week.
Yeah, that one doesn't inspire me. But if Eckes to the Ram team works, he's legit. He's a proven championship contender down there. I think Brendan Queen will quickly prove that he is a championship contender as well. Danny Dye, the jury is out. Those other guys, if they get a veteran like Enfinger or Hemrick or even a Jeb Burton, although I've heard that Jeb is likely to stay at Jordan Anderson, maybe things have changed in the last few days. I'm not sure.
What happened to
any of those
Cletus
guys?
McFarland rumors?
I think
That
he
might
would also
turn into
drive
Tony
attention
Breidinger for the money.
Yeah.
I mean, that might be part of it. You got 5 teams, Ram, Stellantis. Yeah, they're going to give you some money. They've always done that with their teams, noticeably. But I wouldn't be surprised. You're trying to bite off 5 full-time teams, the apple already. I wouldn't be surprised if they do go for Tony Breidinger. Of those 4, take her out because I don't,
she won't be very competitive.
No, but so of those 3, Enfinger, Hemrick, Jeb, I would think historically speaking, Hemrick would show to be the most competitive of them. But then we really haven't seen Grant Enfinger in a long while being an actual elite tier ride. I mean, he is carrying that 9 team to top 5s when they shouldn't be up there.
He's got that 9 team's better than is this crew chief Jeff Stankiewicz,
who is I think leaving actually after this year.
Well, that could lead to Enfinger wanting out and wanting to go do something else.
Is he going to colleague?
Maybe
he's going to Tricon. Hold on, they had just
I did see a headline. No, I agree. I'm a big Grant Enfinger guy.
Tricon.
Big mistake. He's going to Tricon.
Yeah,
I'm a big Enfinger
director.
I'm a big Enfinger guy. I think he's very, very good. I think he is another, I know we meme about it. He is a blue collar racer who has earned this spot. He's almost won a championship in that truck. He is very, very good. It would be cool to see him in a Ram factory effort for a year or 2 and see how that goes. But I don't know. I also feel like he's a good fit doing his own thing.
I tell you what, I know, if there's any truth that Corey Heim moves up to the Xfinity Series, he might still show up every now and again in a truck, like a part-time entry or something like that for Tricon or something like that. So he might keep extending his number of Truck Series wins. But if Christian Eckes is going back to the Truck Series with this new Ram program, I could watch for him to be their breakout star. I mean, he let's keep this in mind. He won 8 times in the 19 car. He has 9 wins in his Truck Series career. If you get Corey Heim away from this series for a little bit and Eckes gets the focus back on it, man, he can make a run for Heim's numbers a little bit.
Yeah, could be him. Lane Riggs. We don't know if Chandler Smith, what's going on with that next year.
Yeah, the trucks could be really interesting. I am excited about trucks with Ram coming in, which is why I hope from a broadcast standpoint they can get the same Xfinity style rebrand that the CW granted this year, because the trucks have the potential to be fascinating week to week next season. Well, those are some of our crazy, wild, and wacky free agent speculation, silly season goofiness, wackiness, whatever you want to call it. We've got one more headline. Want to touch on this real quick. There wasn't the big mega ultra update we thought we could possibly see today, but 2311 Front Row Motorsports and NASCAR and their attorneys and representatives met today and yesterday. They took part in a settlement conference with sports mediator Jeffrey Mishkin as well as Judge Kenneth Bell. Long hours yesterday and today, and they came out of the courtroom today seemingly without a deal being reached, which means tomorrow they will go to court, and Judge Bell has the opportunity to give summary judgment and throw out parts of this case, or even if he wanted to rule in favor of one side or the other. But with no settlement being agreed to today, it seems like the odds are slimmer now this gets settled before December 1st. This seems on a collision course with a trial date now after today's lack of an agreement.
Why do I just feel like the NASCAR just kept trying to say, like, just spouting anything out, like okay, would you settle for this? And they're just sitting there the whole time. Hamlin's crew is just like, no. Every time they said anything.
Well, it sounded like from the way Jeff Gluck put it, it's like it's pretty much like there's no settlement at this point. Like at least this was gonna be it. They'll have the little meeting basically tomorrow.
If you're taking it this far, you want to bring them all down.
Yeah, and I just, I mean, we talked all through the summer, and we're just like, oh, we're just inch by inch moving forward, and then we're starting to get more real. Like this now, when it's pretty much like tomorrow, and it's almost deciding what direction it goes. Like it's real now. I mean, we're what 39 days away from December 1st or something like that.
Yeah, and I mean, again, they could still come to an agreement, I guess, anytime, but these were, I guess, essentially court mandated. You got to sit in a room and talk to each other for 2 days. Things we're up against the wall here. Time is of the essence. And it doesn't sound like they got a deal done. I thought it was, Bianchi, Adam Stern, a few other reporters were at the courthouse as they were dismissed. And, you see Jeffrey Kessler walk out. You see Denny Hamlin, Michael Jordan, Steve Phelps, O'Donnell, all of them walk out. Their attorneys walk out, and it's all no comment. Not going to say anything. We'll be in court tomorrow. No comment. But Denny Hamlin, being Denny effing Hamlin, Bianchi asks in his video, hey, did it go well in there? And Denny couldn't help himself, gave us one of these as he walked away, which I think says something, says that, yes, they are still far apart on whatever.
Yeah. If Denny Hamlin does win this championship with all, this everything that's been going on, just having to say one of the Steves, give him that trophy. They might even literally just like, all right, here's a trophy. All right, his hands are on. I'm off of it. Get me out of here.
I would tune in for the first time in like 10 years to the awards banquet to see Jim France have to shake that man's hand. Like, I don't give a damn about the awards banquet anymore. It's so watered down to me.
They would make sure this is one of the fastest like awards banquets they've ever done in their life. They're not gonna build this one up.
But the best part is you're gonna, I don't know what the points look like right now, but if a kid Tyler Reddick go up on stage and he's thanking Denny Hamlin, the champion and his owner and the best owner in NASCAR, he's gonna say all these things, and then you just see like Jim France in the course.
I agree with what Timothy in the chat says. They'll just get Ben Kennedy to do it instead, or Denny, I think, has an okay relationship with Phelps. They'll just have Phelps do it. He's the stand-in.
Probably. which would say so damn much about.
Yeah,
I will say I did notice when like all the media people were asking questions when the Francis came out, everyone got quiet and didn't like even approach. They just let them all walk past, and they looked pissed. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna like read too much into it other than just the fact like they looked really, really damn pissed. And
could have been exhausted. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
you sit in a courtroom going back and forth for hours. I'd be glazed. My eyes would be glazed over. Just
everyone leaving that place, they scattered. I mean, if you had an overhead view, it looked like they were scattering like freaking roaches. Man, they wanted to get as far as hell away from that place as they could. Both sides too. Like, do you notice that? Like every person that left went a different direction. They're like, I'm gonna go get falafels or something.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. Again, this could still get settled. We know the teams the other owners, I should say, have put pressure on both sides now to try and reach some sort of an agreement, because I think if this does go to court and, additional, information gets made public, financial info, if that becomes scrutinized, unsavory messages that paint Jordan or Phelps or NASCAR, whoever, in a bad light, like the more that comes out as we get into trial, it's just not good for anyone. And I do feel it's going to be hard for there to be like an outright winner that doesn't, like, I guess what I'm trying to say is there will be loser, like both sides will lose something no matter what, if this goes all the way to December 1st. So we'll see just how things progress.
The big thing that I keep, a lot of people from NASCAR have said when they go on these shows, like O'Donnell said it and others, is like, whether it be the points format, whether it be the court stuff, whether it be different controversies, like we don't want to take away from this year's champion and this year's championship fight. And I'm like, guys, that's the last thing that anyone's focusing on at this point. Like the battle's lost. Like we're gonna go through. This might be the greatest thing for people who support the playoffs, because it's like whatever happens, people are gonna be like mad for a day, and then it's like, hey, there's court updates. Hey, there's this, and there's this conversation. Like you compare it to last year, where the only focus was everything that just happened at Martinsville and the Roval and Richmond and all. Like this year is probably, because of more controversy, going to be so much less controversy filled the next 3 weeks when it comes to on track. Like they're going to have to like put an effort forth into making controversial moves for people to like take the focus away.
Yeah, no, for sure. Well, with that being said, gentlemen, I think we've made it through the headlines for the week. Let's get to our fun segments, beginning with our accountability session. Every week, each of us make 2 NASCAR racing or show related predictions. We keep track, hold each other accountable, and we try to keep our predictions contained into the not so distant future. Let's look at our last week's predictions, or what's come off the board. Danny, all right, 1 for 4, correctly predicted that Carson Hocevar will buy another race car off of Facebook Marketplace by the end of the year. He has done that.
Did you see the shirt he put out, the Marketplace Menace?
I've got to get one because it features that first card I found for him.
He should just sell it on Facebook Marketplace.
Raja Karuth will race full-time in the O'Reilly Auto Parts for Spire in 2026. He might technically go full-time. It won't be for Spire. Danny B will not trail. Oh, I like how you put W, Rick.
You had a few spelling errors. You had race car off if Facebook. You got W.
I'm dealing with a 5-month-old. Y'all deal with a 5-month-old while you're making these, and then you spell it all right.
Let's get W Ricks in the chat, everybody.
Can I get some W Rick W steps in the chat?
I think I've put a W Danny. I couldn't put Danny W. You've been losing so damn much.
Anyway, yes, I am leading random driver of the week. And Danny also said a driver not in the playoffs will win Talladega. I mean, shoot, almost had Todd Gilliland win the damn thing, but it was Chase Briscoe at the end of the day. Next up, 2 for 3 for yours truly. Thank you for the W's in the chat. I have earned them, as you can see on your screen. All 3 Talladega races will end under green. That did happen. Logano will lead the most laps. That also happened. I thought SVG would score Super Speedway top 10 this year. He finished 11th.
I know.
11th.
All right, the next one, I went off of Jeff's thing. We can take mine off the board for the green one if you want, or we can just leave it there until we find out later.
Up to you. Okay. Yeah, we can leave it up there for now, I guess. But Jarrett, 1 for 5, said there will be no settlements. So far, so good. But then said there will be a wet weather tire test at Dover in either last year or this year. That was a long ago prediction. That did not come to fruition. Said Raja would make a cup start. Did not happen. Said that Eric and Danny will finish tied in random driver of the week. We were tied most of the year, not now. And then said the next NASCAR driver to participate in random driver of the week will win. Connor Zilich last week put up a valiant effort, played by the rules at the very least, but no, did not. I think I don't remember who the driver was. It Stacy Compton? Who was the driver last week?
Aaron Crocker.
Aaron Crocker. I don't think Aaron Crocker was even still racing when Zilich was born. I don't even know.
To be fair, we had Zilich on before, a tough track to really count for that one. So
tough break there. Tough break for Zilich. So we got our standings for the year. Danny and I are almost tied. Danny holding the lead though by a few percentage points. Then if we go to the full last 2 years combined, Jarrett still holds the lead. I've moved into second. Danny a close third.
You're locked in that new 33.33.
3333 repeating.
333.
Who's first? Danny got his first prediction?
Yeah, I'm still first in that.
Okay.
In at least 2 out of 3 races this weekend, someone below the cutoff line will advance into the final 4 in at least 2 of the 3 this weekend.
Okay.
Yeah, I could see that. But I think I could see it. Good pick. My first one, I hate picking on this guy, but it's driving me crazy. It's like I don't really have OCD, but I have OCD about this. Kyle Busch, I predict he will have another pit road penalty this weekend.
I'll say this. I'm going to say, because it hasn't been confirmed, even though it's heavily rumored, that Colleague will not be full-time in the O'Reilly series, will be full-time in trucks with Eckes, and Daniel Dye. So a big parlay on that. They have to not be full-time with the O'Reilly series. They have to have Eckes full-time in trucks, and they have to have Danny Dye full-times in trucks. And they're only putting Danny Dye down there to appease Michael Waltrip.
Thing is, I know that's your big parlay, but kind of a layup.
Nah.
I mean, I could see it happening. There's a lot of parts, but
a lot can change. A lot can change.
Yep. Danny, what's your final prediction?
You can look at this however you feel like, but I'll just say tire wear will be a notable issue in the Cup race this weekend. Like something it'll be.
How do we quantify that?
Like
we'll take a vote. We'll take a vote after the race
basically meaning like you're going to notice if we're seeing more tire issues than normal in this race, kind of like the Bristol race.
If Steve Letarte mentions it a bajillion times on the broadcast, then it counts.
And if we agree afterwards, it really wasn't, then it's wrong.
Okay. All right.
I'll need to know by probably Tuesday so I can make up the graphics for it.
We'll probably know by Sunday.
So a lot of talk about, Denny Hamlin, Bell's won at Martinsville, the Penske guys, inevitable at the short flat tracks. But I predict that at least 2 Hendrick cars will lead laps in the Cup race this weekend. Don't sleep on the Hendrick guys.
I'll make this prediction. It's a bit different from Danny's. Each series final 4 will have a winner from Martinsville. So they can win. They get in. They can already be in and win. They could already be advanced and win.
I see. Like if Hamlin wins Martinsville,
or Heim wins it, or Zilich, like it can be any of them. But if they're in the final 4 for their respective series next week, they have won at Martinsville. Now they could also win and get in.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a solid one. All right. Good stuff. Fun predictions, chat. We are getting ever so close to that very important Martinsville pick segment. I see the NWP pick monkey is in the chat. So start getting your bets ready here. Before we can get to that, though, it's time for a fan favorite segment. It's time for Random Driver of the Week. Week. Road. Sorry.
Patrick the lid.
Lid.
All-time standings. I think I've clinched the season. 33 correct. Danny is at 29 correct. I've been on a roll lately. I've been really lucky. Guess of it 7. Jarrett has stumped us 6 times. See if he can make that 7 tonight.
I'm just playing for pride at this point now. I gotta close this gap before the end of the year.
All right. Hiding the chat for the next few minutes. Let's rock and roll.
So Eric with the 33-29 lead is 4 up. And of the last 5, he has 4 of them. That's where he's made it up in. He got Aaron Crocker or Aaron Evernham, BJ McLeod, Bob Flock, and Rich Bickle. The only one he didn't get in that span was Michael Marutz getting Stacy Compton.
That was the Compton one. Yeah, well, yeah, that Rich Bickle one fell right into my lap. That was a wacky one. I'm glad I got that one, though.
All right, let's get it going. Make sure that you have your pens ready. Actually, just this past week, one of Cito's videos came up, and I showed it to my wife of when he put the clip of Eric running out of ink while he was writing the numbers. There were so many numbers on one of them. I was just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
The funny part is I've done that before on these clues. I've run out of ink writing them. So this random driver is a Wisconsin driver.
Oh, don't you do it, Dan. Don't you do it, Jarrett.
Do you care to make a guess?
No, yeah, why? It's not. But I got to throw it out there because I can't accidentally lose this. Matt Kenseth. Okay. I couldn't lose the Matt Kenseth round. You know what I'm saying? Okay.
Every time he hears Wisconsin, he's going to go, Matt Kenseth.
Because what if Danny did and got it right? What if you were trying to like psych me out here and trying to,
because I know that's bait for you, not me.
I have a 4-point lead. I can take a shot there in the dark. Had to do it. Okay. Keep going. What's next?
This random driver competed in the U.S. National Junior Olympics in downhill skiing.
Matt Kenseth. No, I'm kidding.
Is that a guess? That's a guess. I think it's a guess.
Nope. Hey, whoa. Turn that off.
That's 2.
Yeah, one more left. You can't say, don't say Ross Kenseth.
Have you ever
Matthew Kenseth.
If you've ever seen the movie Idiocracy, I'm trying to reference that.
All right. Okay. So he's a skier.
No,
he or she.
That did not count. You have 2 more.
Yeah, 2 more for Eric, 1 more for Danny. Or 3 more for Danny. I can't speak, damn it. This random driver was the 1997 Hooters Cup Late Model Series Rookie of the Year.
God. Okay.
Eric and I have never tweeted about this random driver. Danny has 9 times.
Good Lord. I'm a fan, whoever you are.
This random driver has less than 900 X followers.
That doesn't surprise me.
This random driver co-owns State Park Speedway in their hometown.
You know what? I'm just gonna throw out this name. It's been itching at me all show because you said it for some reason. Mike Bliss.
Mike Bliss, I guess is wrong.
I just needed to get that out of the way because he seems like the kind of guy who would just randomly do something like that. And you said him for like no reason earlier, and I was surprised.
You could say it was random.
That would be a huge blunder on my part, but no. This random driver co-owned an ASA team after their NASCAR career.
Cool.
Y'all want the numbers?
Sure, Jared.
Yeah,
make sure the pens have ink in them, or if you have a pencil, they have graphite. This random driver drove the numbers 03, 4, 5, 7, 10, 12, 14, 20, 21, 22, 23, 27, 29, 31, 33, 40, 42, 46, 47, 66, 70, 77, 78, 81, 82, and 87.
That's a lot of very familiar numbers on that list. I'm seeing a lot of RCR numbers.
Scott Wimmer.
Scott Wimmer.
Ooh, dang. That's
Correct.
it. Oh, that's a good pull there.
The only reason I know I would have talked about Scott Wimmer a ton is my boy, Isaac Jekyll, the biggest Scott Wimmer fan that's ever existed.
And what's
Good
today's date, by
stuff.
the way?
10/22.
October
Oh, yeah.
22nd. 22.
The 22 car, the Caterpillar car.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
That is
it's
the
old
career best
Scott
finish,
Wimmer
04
from
Daytona 500.
Wisconsin.
Yeah, 04 Daytona 500 is his best career finish. Third.
What else
Did
did you
you-
have for him? I'm just curious.
It looks like a few people in the chat, I'm scrolling back, got Wimmer, but it wasn't unanimous. So that's good. That's good stuff.
I had the locations of his 6 Xfinity Series wins at Dover, Memphis, Pikes Peak, Phoenix, Homestead, and Nashville. OEM's career best truck finish of being 13th at Texas. It surprises me how his career only spanned from 2000 to 2011. I thought he was around longer.
Yeah.
Never raced in the All-Star race or the Clash. Drove for Furniture Row, JR Motorsports, Morgan McClure, RCR, Bill Davis, and Fitz Bradshaw. Started 2 Daytona 500s, got a top 5 in one, flipped in the next.
That would have gave it away if I didn't already recognize it.
One of them that I was actually about to say was this random driver once was pitted by the Hendrick 48 crew at Dover. Back when Dover had 42 pit stalls.
That's some obscure lore right there.
You know, somebody in the chat would be like, "Oh my God, I remember that. I was there." That was random driver.
Thank
Cool,
you,
cool.
Isaac Jekyll, for making my knowledge of Scott Wimmer larger than it needed to be.
33-30. Danny's in the 30s now.
Well done. Well played.
Big
Good one
3-0.
to break through on. Well, that was fun. We had fun. Now it's time to talk Martinsville. Going to be mayhem at the paperclip the next few days. Few weekend notes. This is a new softer left side tire for the Cup Series. Same combination they ran most recently at New Hampshire. You'll recall Joey Logano, Ross Chastain, and Christopher Bell did the tire test at New Hampshire before that race. Corey Day going to run the Xfinity race for the Hendrick Motorsports number 17 team. With William Sawalich, we mentioned earlier, in concussion protocol this week, Justin Bonsignor will drive the JGR 18 in the Xfinity race, and Brendan Queen, noteworthy, is in the 7 Spire truck. someone to watch perhaps when we get to picks. Race information. The truck race is the Slim Jim 200. 200 laps, 50, 100 stage breakdown starts Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern on FS1 and NRN Sirius XM. Weather is in the 60s, 4% chance of rain. Christian Eckes, the defending winner. The Xfinity race Saturday is the IAA and Ritchie Bros 250. The stage breakdown 60, 130 laps starts Saturday at 7:30 on the CW MRN Sirius XM. Weather again great. It's gonna be low 60s, no rain, clear skies. Eric Almirola, the defending fall race winner. And then the Cup race, oddly enough, is the Xfinity 500. That's not confusing. Sunday afternoon, 500 lap race, 130, 240 lap stage breakdowns, 2 p.m. Eastern start on NBC, big NBC, also MRN, Sirius XM radio. And again, clear skies, little cooler temperatures though. This is the one race where right now I believe the high is 59, could dip into the 50-degree range, which we've seen with this. With this tire, concrete corners can be temperamental when it comes to the weather. So that has a lot of drivers. I actually talked to Ryan Preece earlier today, and he was like, man, I really don't know what we're going to see with these tires, but you could tell he was thinking about it. It was weighing on his mind. So could be an interesting race, Bristol-esque to some degree. Let's take a look at the pick points. Things are heating up. Jarrett's holding on to his lead as he has most of the fall, but I'm now only 10 points back. Chat, you're within striking distance, -22. Danny's within striking distance, -23. 2 weeks to go. Y'all got to pitch a near perfect game, but it's within reach. This
I am
is
coming
tense.
like a hurricane right now. I was like 53 points back only a few weeks ago.
Yeah, this is actually insane. This is the
blame Austin
Broncos versus the Giants.
I blame Austin Hill at the Roval. It wasn't his
Yeah.
fault that his car broke, but I'm blaming him anyway.
Yeah, goodness gracious. Well, a lot at stake this week. Danny, you get first pick. Chat, you get second pick. So let's begin with the Craftsman Truck Series race. Who wins Friday night, Danny?
I'm not gonna say it's Heim time. I'm going Lane Riggs.
Ooh,
I
okay.
feel
All right,
risky
chat.
at that, but Lane Riggs below the cutoff line. I wouldn't be shocked if he wins this one.
That's good. That's good. All right. Okay. That's a reasonable first pick. Chat, is it Heim time where you are?
They're gonna take Heim.
There
I
goes.
gave it to him. So they're
It's
gonna
Heim
take it.
o'clock somewhere. Chat's going Heim. I like PNK. It's just like, chat, pick Heim. Heim!
I felt risky with that, but you know what? My wife also told me to take Riggs, so I listened to her.
Man, I am torn because I kind of like this Brendan Queen in the 7 truck. Kind of sounds a little spicy, but I'm going to go with a playoff driver. I don't fully trust Caden Honeycutt's equipment. I just, not that Thor Sport's been all that great, but I'm going to go Ty Majeski, great short track racer. Give me the 98 truck. Jarrett, how about you?
I'll go Daniel Hemrick on this one.
Ooh, I thought about it.
I mean, that 19's been pretty damn good here in recent races, and
That's fair.
I just need top fives.
That's a solid pick for the 4th pick. I'm not going to lie. All right, Xfinity Series race at Martinsville Saturday evening. Danny, kick us off. Who's going to win?
I will take the easy pick on this one, Connor Zillish.
Ooh. All right, chat. Can't
And
be
Chad,
Zillbillies
you can
tonight.
stop saying 88 because one, I took him, and also it hides it every time because of reasons.
Yeah. Oh man, they're all over the map. Except I think.
Nah, they're
The
unanimous.
7?
It's 7.
I think the 7. I won't go unanimous because I did just see 454.
It's pretty unanimous.
It's definitely leaning 7. All right, you guys get Justin Allgaier.
Do you know last week
So-
was the first time all year none of us picked Justin Allgaier for an Xfinity race?
That is odd. It is
Well,
a super
correct.
speedway. Yeah. Oh man. All right, I'm taking a gamble here. I can't believe I'm betting my season
Oh my God, are you gonna do it?
on Sammy Smith.
You didn't do it. Oh,
Who'd you think I was taking? Give me Sammy Smith.
I
I think
thought
he's
you
going to
were-
be a little cleaner this time.
I thought you were going with Gray. I'll go Eric
No.
Almirola.
That's your guy. I'm not taking Taylor Gray from you. You're going Almirola?
Hasn't he won like the last 2 here?
He did win last year. Did he
Didn't
run
he
the
win-
spring? He didn't win the spring. He didn't
Didn't-
run the spring race.
Didn't run spring race, but then he won. Was it another? He's won a lot here. Or
No,
he's
he's
been
good. That's a good
here.
pick.
He's been pretty good.
I
here.
like all our
So.
picks. I like Sammy Smith this week, and I think he'll be good. All right.
He's a bowling ball.
Yeah, I think he's going to be on the wheel.
Yeah.
All right. Before we get to our Cup win pick, how about a suck pick first, Danny? Who's going to suck in the Cup Series race?
I'm going to stand on business from earlier. Joey Logano.
Jeez, Danny is just turncoat in 2 weeks on the Logano narrative.
I tried to get him in. I tried to will him into existence, and it failed. So he's let me down.
Chat's agreeing with you. They're just like, yeah, let's pile on Joey. They're just trying to will it into existence.
And now that we're doing this, he will win.
Careful, Icarus.
My suck pick, I'm gonna go Bush.
So we're doubling up both ends of it because
Yeah.
Kyle Busch has been atrocious here for like years now. I don't know what the hell it is.
Wasn't it one of his last races in the 18? They just kind of quit at this race.
Yeah, wasn't it like running 37th off speed?
Yeah, in a Gibbs car. It was very sad. It was very unfortunate.
Now we're going to have an amazing photo finish of Bush trying to fight for pride, Logano trying to get in just like old time's sake.
And you'd never believe 5 years ago a Martinsville crowd is cheering for Kyle Busch.
All right. Dark horse pick. Sneaky pick. Danny, who you got?
Bubba Wallace.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. It's hard to disagree with that one. He's been pretty good.
He
here
might
in
even
the
sneak up
past.
there and just win this whole thing, honestly.
Early polls in the chat are going with redacted number 88.
There's a good few 88s, a lot of 60s coming in now.
Final 60s just suddenly come in there.
Yeah, I think they're going Priest, which would have probably, I was between Priest or Bubba. Priest finished 7th, I think, here in the spring race. And RFK has been pretty decent lately. A lot of top 10 runs for their cars. So I like the Priest pick.
Yeah,
You're
there's
going with
I see more
Priest?
60s at this point. I'd go 60.
So you're going with Priest too?
Yeah, I'll take Priest as well.
Damn, Danny. We were one away from just perfection because I'm going Priest too.
Good stuff, which means it's time now for the main event. Who is going to win the Cup Series race at Martinsville?
See,
Danny?
y'all were going underdog in the sense of just having a good race. I went with underdog that Bubba might just win this one, but who I think will actually win this one is his team owner, Denny Hamlin.
Oh, okay.
He won
Denny
the spring. He's going to bring the
Hamlin.
same energy, and he'll take 2 out of 3 wins in this round and be ready to go at Phoenix.
Man, so the chat gets Ryan Blaney. Look at that.
Are they
Probably
going Blaney?
80% of the
I've
chat
seen a lot of 9s.
Oh, yeah, there are a lot of 9s
I
just
would
came in.
pull 12 and 9 to be sure.
I think y'all
I'm
are like a
thinking more
second ahead of
12,
me.
but 9 is very heavy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, you're right. A lot
I
of 9s did come in there. I think it's 12, but we'll pull between those two.
Yeah, it's
This is
I
such a
think it's
pivotal
probably
week.
gonna be-
And if neither of you are going for that one, you can put your picks in. But
Well, I might be going
think
for
they're-
one of them.
I think they're both. I think both might be on at least one of our lists for sure.
Yeah.
So,
all right, I'll give him a few seconds. Chat,
Hey,
make your votes, make your picks.
for those who don't say, for those who say that we try and rig it against the chat, we're giving you all a fair shake this week just to be sure. We don't want you guys getting screwed.
pretty unanimous.
I'm giving y'all a few more seconds here, but it looks like it's been decided.
Which that's about how it looked in the chat too. So
Yeah, I think so. About 2/3 of y'all have said Ryan Blaney, only a third Chase Elliott. So yeah, Blaney, chat's picking him to go 3 years in a row.
I get my 1 or 2 pick this week. Nice.
Give me William Byron.
Holy hell.
He's brought the speed the last couple weeks.
Nice.
I'll take a shot.
Where did my notes go? And I can read off my pick here really quick. My pick, his last 5 finishes here are 5th, 3rd, 2nd, 6th win, 3.4 average. Has led 187 laps in that time. He might not win, but he always seems to run really well up here. I'm gonna go Kyle Larson.
He was on my board.
My board was Larson, Elliott, Blaney. And then
Larson won. Wow.
Yeah, man, he's been consistently fast here. Like he is the only Hendrick guy that like.
But you could say that about Chase Elliott too. You could say that about Denny Hamlin too, or Ryan Blaney too, or even William Byron.
He's the Hendrick guy that has a top 10 in all of the last 5 races at Martinsville, and not even that. 6th is his worst finish in that span.
I was gonna say, Joey Logano, we found out earlier, has 10 or something top 10s in a row at Martinsville.
And he's the only other one in the 6 that need to make it in. That's the same like with the top 10s.
Yeah.
But Logano's been moving backwards a little bit the last
and I
few
wouldn't.
weeks with it.
Yeah, I wouldn't pick Joey, but I feel like any of the Hendrick or Gibbs guys, playoff guys at least, have a shot. And then Blaney, of course, can't count him out. Chat gets the Blaney pick. That was an interesting one. I feel my trio of picks is odd. I'm questioning mine now. I'm not sure I like now that I have my fantasy team drafted. I'm like, oh,
see, I got my truck number 4 with Hemrick, but I got both of my number 1s with Almirola and Larson. So I'm happy with this one. Like if it goes wrong, it's just bad on me. Like I can live with that.
I feel good about all my picks. I just really hope I don't regret that Lane Riggs instead of Heim. But I feel like Riggs is in a situation where he'll show that he's a pretty good short track racer in this one.
That's a justified pick, though, I think.
Yeah. I Riggs is the one that I would think would be most set up to beat Heim. I'll say, though, I mean, we talked about before the show, like maybe not the cup race, but the trucks a bit, but especially Xfinity, like you could have the right pick for 249 or 199 laps. And then somebody in 10th decides that they can win it and you get screwed. I mean, it could really happen that way for sure.
I don't know how this is all going to shake out after this one, but I'll tell you what, we keep getting closer and closer and closer.
Yeah. I don't like it.
Jared, I wouldn't want to be in where you're at right now going into Phoenix because that's the last one I'd want to be first.
I'll be honest. I would not feel comfortable going into Phoenix unless my lead was like 15 more.
It's like you just took the white flag as the leader at Daytona.
And it's like 2009.
Okay, so like, which driver am I in 09? Am I Kyle Busch at Daytona, or am I like, am I Carl Edwards at Talladega, or am I Jamie McMurray at Talladega?
Yeah. Either way, I don't think did Kyle Busch win that race in 09? I guess he did.
No, that was the one where he got
he got sent by Stewart. Yeah.
I want to be James Buescher at Daytona.
Yeah, that's a good pull. Yep.
Well, we've been hanging out around each other too damn long. We're saying the same things.
How nerdy are we that we just laughed at a James Buescher reference? That's crazy. Like, who else in America is having this conversation?
People are watching this show that have no clue who James Buescher even is right now.
There's people watching the show that weren't born when that race happened. Like, I hope, like, that was one of the craziest moments for me in a good way. Was like when I was at a race and I heard like this kid said he had watched me since like he was, forever. And the kid was like, the kid was born in 2019. And I'm just like, whoa, I started on here in 2018.
That's crazy.
So all right. It's going to be a fun week. May the best one win.
Yeah.
Because what was it?
Stuff.
Eric, you won last year, right?
Yes.
And then Chat won 2 in a row, and I won the first one.
Yeah. Oh, Danny, this comeback could be huge.
Danny with the generational comeback in year 5 of this.
I've needed one of these for a long time. Because let's see, each of you all have gotten one. The chat has gotten one.
They got 2 in a row.
Did Darian get one year? I'm struggling to remember.
I don't think he did.
It's me, then the chat twice, then Eric. And Eric got it like a nail biter.
We used to keep track of the guest point pick too. I don't think they ever won it.
No, they never had a chance, I think.
Well, because the guests always wanted to try and like make the flashy pick, like they were like, we're going to Daytona. And I know everyone wants to pick Denny Hamlin. I know I have the first pick, but you know who I'm going to pick? I'm going to pick him, Noah Gragson.
Quinn Half.
Beard Motorsport. That's what you're hinging on. Like I remember a few times, like we're just like, no. Pick someone good. I hate it when guests come on and they're like, I don't want to take the good ones from you. I'm like, no, please make us do work.
Yeah. No, it's been fun. So shaping up to be an exciting couple of weeks here for the NWP pick points. We've got our final super chat stage break of the night coming up real quick though. Want to remind everyone that we'll be on the Icebergs channel 1 week from tonight, October 29th at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure you're subscribed to Jarrett and subscribe to Danny. All of our channels are linked down in the video description below if you're watching us on YouTube right now. Let's pick up where we left off on these super chats. Really do appreciate all of your support tonight. It's been a blast. We got this one here from It's Nothing. Says, unpopular opinion, I like super speedways with no big crashes, just good hard racing. It's a fine line because Springdega exists. Ew. but Daytona was good. Look at that graphic Jarrett just threw up on the screen. Yeah, I agree. It's nothing. Don't need a huge crash to make a super speedway race memorable. Some of the best ones have gone virtually caution free for long periods. Bailey Reichert says, isn't Denny sponsored by Progressive? Maybe they can help fix his car issues. They can help pay for them, maybe, right? I don't know how.
They can give
I
him
guess
a quote.
that's how insurance works, I guess. Let's see. From Jeffrey King here. Plot twist. Kyle Busch wins and breaks the curse. Snaps the 90 race winless streak or whatever he's up to now. Gosh, he could get to triple digits here soon. Well, next year. But Crash the Hedgehog says maybe that's why no one tuned in. Folks wanted to watch Talladega, not the playoff 500. Also, hey guys, good to see you again. Long time no see. Great to see you as well. Crash the Hedgehog coming in here with the bold, strong take. Yeah, very playoff heavy broadcast the last few weeks. I get it this weekend at Martinsville. They're obviously going to talk a ton about points this week. I get it this race coming up, but yeah, like Talladega, Las Vegas, it was a lot. If you're not into that sort of thing. Yeah, that it kind of clouds the Southern 500 in some ways. From Jensen N, thank you for the very generous super chat. Is it just me or what is now old drivers is much younger than before? It seems old is 40s now. When I started watching the early 80s, drivers were in their 50s and some were still winning, like Harry Gant, Bobby Allison. I feel like Mark Martin was sort of the last of that crop of drivers that could do that. Because I mean, they're right. Fun. Guys are retiring so much earlier now. Junior, Kenseth, even Truex, all in their mid 40s retiring. Jimmy,
don't forget. Don't forget while he was decent at DEI and Ginn for those 2 years, like there were serious questions about when Rick Hendrick signed Mark Martin. Like, hey, he's kind of old to like be doing a full season. Like, he still competes every now and then in the 01 or the 8. So it's like, it's kind of been like that for a while now. It's just we're finally seeing it play all the way out.
Yeah. Aren't you a little old to be trick-or-treating? Yeah. That's
I
Justin
am
Drake.
12.
Very generous super chat earlier in the evening from Justin Drake. We do appreciate that. Love Jimmy Spencer's comments on Austin Hill flipping off fans on DBC this week. I don't care the intention of who it's directed to, but some kid that was at Talladega this weekend is probably asking, Dad, why is he flipping me off?
I think it was a follower of ours. I think is it Dr. Chimp, I think.
Who
took the picture and they were starting it and then he did it back and they thought it was the funniest damn thing. And they're like, don't penalize him. And he wasn't this week. So
that's true. Yeah. I didn't even think the penalty report. Yeah. It did not include Austin Hill. That's just probably the right thing. Yeah. I mean, I heard Jimmy Spencer's take and it was a good one that you don't flip off the fans. The fans are always right kind of thing. Like that's reasonable. I get that. But this is this was a very like one-on-one sort of, it's not like he got out of his car, saluted the entire crowd with his middle finger. This was directed at one specific fan who started it first, which also, I don't know. When you're winning, you can kind of do those things.
Have you seen since they had announced Jimmy Spencer on DBC this week, all the pictures of him without his wig went viral?
I've not seen that. No.
I didn't. So like I'll be honest. As a kid, I didn't know what a wig looked like compared to like real hair. So I didn't know. I didn't know for the longest time. So I saw this picture. I'm like, that kind of looks like Jimmy Spencer. And then I'm like, wait, that's Jimmy Spencer.
Oh gosh,
give him the crying towel, man.
Yep. NWP Pick Monkey says monkey pick of the week. Xfinity turns into a crap show. I gave that one a heart because there's high likelihood of that happening for sure. From Santa Claus here. Let's start with Santa's obvious naughty list people. Chris Rice, Richard Childress, Austin Hill, Ty Dillon, Kevin Harvick, Alex Bowman, Ty Gibbs, Joey Logano, Steve Phelps, Jim France, and Steve O'Donnell. So that's the naughty list. All right. Then he says, here are the obvious people on the nice list. Bubba, Tyler Reddick, McDowell, Danny and Jarrett. And that's it.
You didn't on the nice list.
What the hell? What the hell, Father Christmas?
I feel like that's one of the first
on you.
I feel like that's one of the first times in this channel, one of your super chatters like on here has actually been nice to me compared to you. And I'm just like, I'm enjoying it while it lasts, baby.
Brutal. What's the guy got to do?
I would like for Bowman to be took off the naughty list. I feel like he's done his punishment. He's got enough to deal with.
Yeah. Grant, thank you for the very generous super chat earlier in the evening. Says, have a great show. I'm at P.O. Seether and how do you say their name? Daughtry. How do I say that? Daughtry.
Oh, okay.
It's not
concert.
Over.
Yeah, I know the band can know how to say their name.
Did you say like? Do you mean P.O.D.?
He says P.O. Is P.O.D. Is that a band?
Yeah, they were pretty big in the early 2000s.
Fun. Well,
They-
sounds like a good time, Grant. Says Danny, how about your baseball coach to MLB? No.
Miss you, Tony.
Dr. Chimp. Hey, the aforementioned Dr. Chimp is here.
Woo!
And I didn't even see this super chat earlier. I hope Dr. Chimp is still around. Says, I'm just happy Austin Hill didn't get fined for flipping me the bird. He heard what we just said, I guess, if he's still here. Yeah, we agree, Dr. Chimp. From C. Henry 20 here. Any suggestions for someone going to Martinsville for the first time? I know Jarrett says load up on hot dogs.
Try
cold out.
Try one. Have them all done, well done, everything on
Okay.
it for the first one, and see if you like it. Here's the big one though. This is like the one track I'm going to tell you this. Get as close to the track as possible. It makes it so much better. You can see
Fun.
the whole track.
Yeah,
It's a
that's true.
blast.
Yeah.
Sit if you can have the luxury of sitting anywhere you want. I would say sit in like turn 1. That's where I've always sat. It's a good view from there.
Oh yeah.
I would agree.
Dr. Chimp's still in the chat.
Heck yeah. Scrapyard says, if it hasn't been mentioned already, how about some applause for Ryan Vargas getting the overall win in his Monster Jam debut? That was pretty nice.
I think he's going to be a good fit there. He told us before he's always loved Monster Jam, so it was awesome to see him get involved in it. Well, I didn't know if he was just going to be doing like the Monster Jam racing, like they do like the truck races of it. But he's actually out there doing freestyle. That's my favorite thing of Monster Jam is the freestyle competition.
I think it's just crazy that I don't know anything about how Monster Jam works or anything like that, but I think it's crazy that this new guy comes in, presumably making his debut, and they put him behind the wheel of El Toro Loco, which is like one of the few monster trucks I can see and recognize right away. I mean, like I had a El Toro Loco like toy as a kid. Like that's
like anything
insane.
bigger, it would be like him getting in Gravedigger. That's not happening, but it'd be like they just threw him in that one, you know?
Not yet.
That's huge. Congrats to Ryan. That's really cool to see. Icy, thanks for the 10, says, my buddy and I went to Talladega and we're going to Martinsville. We're 20 and absolute diehards. Wish more people would watch our age. I mean, we agree. I mean, we're all kind of in that same demo here, and hopefully shows like this one give you an outlet and, and give you some folks to talk to about it. But
have a blast.
Glad y'all are enjoying it. That's super fun.
They're so different, but
yeah.
at the same time, like it's different in the greatest ways.
Yeah, but the energy is still kind of the same. Like I don't know, they're different, but samey in some ways as well. Like the love is all still there.
Oh yeah.
Rowdy 8 Diecast says, I'm cautiously optimistic about Jim Pullman. I think that's fair. I don't think things can get much worse over there. So hopefully they find a spark.
Don't say that.
Next from Santa Claus, next round of naughty list, Kyle Busch and Haley Deegan. And I don't know, I'm now excited for whatever their next one is. Evergreen Mountain says RCR is the Dallas Cowboys of NASCAR. They were legendary in the 90s. They suck, but still have loyal fan bases that believe this year will be different. And they're both run poorly by out of touch old men. Jeez. I mean, I agree with the Cowboys comparison. I would have phrased things a little more delicately, but yes,
how does that comparison go over in the Estep household?
The thing about, I've lived in Dallas now about a year and a half, almost 2 years. And yeah, there are a ton of Cowboys fans. I live here like 5 minutes away from the Cowboys headquarters. It's Dallas Cowboys Central for sure. But there's like, everyone kind of understands that Jerry Jones is holding the team back. Like nobody, I've yet to meet a Jerry Jones fan. He's in a very funny Dr. Pepper commercial nowadays that I do like. But other than that, nobody here is a Jerry Jones supporter. I think everyone kind of wishes he would let go of the reins, so to speak. So I think a lot of Cowboys fans are actually more realists than the national media would lead you to believe. But maybe that's just my bubble that I'm in. I'm not sure. Justin Drake, another super chat, says Tony Breidinger, the Danica Patrick of trucks. Dang. Yeah, well, hopefully the results get a little bit better, especially if she ends up in a Ram truck. You never know. Yeah. Tim from Tennessee chimes in again. Would Martinsville be a state if it wasn't for Tennessee? # remember the Alamo. So I'm mixing metaphors there, but I get
we're bringing that one back, are we?
Andrew, thank you for the 5. Says I'm starting to think that Kurt Busch is greater than Kyle Busch at the end of their careers. Kurt bounced around to many teams. I can't. There's like a mispronounced. I don't know what he's even trying to say. But
Basically, he
Kurt,
was trying to say that Kirk could still keep winning at all the different stops that he made.
he did. He won at Ganassi every year, pretty much. Won at 23-11. I mean, I think Kurt did a lot to help his legacy the final 5 or 6 years of his career. I think that's 100% true. I stand with 23-11. Carson. Good to see you, Carson. Hey, NWP Iceberg. Congrats on being the only host to choose Briscoe to make the Final Four. I was surprised about Suarez, but shows how important sponsorship is in NASCAR compared to younger drivers. Yeah, I mean, bringing freeway insurance over there is definitely helping get that ride. Carson also says it was a great race weekend at Talladega since Zilich finally finished outside of the top 10. I just love that we've got the one Connor Zilich hater on the stream. We found them. It is Carson. From Derek. Derek says, who do you think is going to be the driver for Viking Motorsports next year? Also, maybe DiBenedetto or Haley to a colleague truck. We've talked about Haley doesn't seem to be in the rotation. I'd be surprised if they go with Matty D. But for Viking, Viking's an odd team because apparently their owner has a lot of money, but that's such a new program that doesn't have a direct alliance as of now.
To me, this felt like Matt's true, best chance to rebuild himself. I don't really know what he does after that. So
maybe it is Justin Haley.
Could be. Yeah, maybe this is Haley. I just hope because I've heard that this guy, whoever runs Viking, the SciAps sponsor or whatever, I've heard they have a ton of money and really love racing. So I hope they go get someone good. I feel like DiBenedetto was like, hey, this is a former Cup guy, doesn't bring a lot of funding. Let's see if this works. I hope they take another shot on an experienced driver or someone who really has potential and don't just take a pay driver.
I don't defend the right way, but to kind of, I think, justify it. Matt DiBenedetto, I don't see him as somebody, though, that's going to go out and wreck your stuff every week. He's probably going to run it where it should probably run. Every now and then he'll pop up. That's probably what a team like that needs. Just don't get put in the hole in the first year.
I did hear one rumor recently from someone I mostly trust. I don't know how close they really are to the team that did suggest that it wasn't strictly a money issue with DiBenedetto over there, that there was just they didn't see eye to eye, which in my head, I'm like, oh, surprise.
You know who I could actually see a Viking? Anthony Alfredo.
Yeah. That actually does make some sense. Wouldn't be a terrible pick.
He brings enough funding and then the team can balance it out. I feel I could see that work.
Dude,
chat says they're going to pick Chris Wright.
Oh God.
Might as well call Matt back.
Hank Hill in the super chat says, one welcome, more like one clown show, suspend Ty Dillon. We didn't touch on the pit road incident, but that was not a great.
Wait, are you saying Hank Hill's thoughts on Ty Dillon is that boy ain't right?
Certainly sounds that way.
Yeah,
that pit road deal could have been avoided, I think, if several people stepped in. In
the span of 7 days between Las Vegas and Talladega, he burned all the goodwill that he got from the in-season tournament.
That's a good way to put it. You're right. A couple here from NWP Pick Monkey. I can't believe Hamlin has fooled people into thinking he actually has a chance to win the title. That's brutal. And then says, but if he does get lucky with the other 3 drivers wrecking on lap 1, NASCAR will just give the trophy to Joe Gibbs. Maybe. That's funny. From iBolt07, to answer Jarrett's question, the last Cup race to have drivers with the same surname bookend the field was the 2024 Coke 600 when Christopher Bell won and JJ, aka Christopher Yaley, finished last.
The more you know.
Yeah. Another one from Carson from earlier says, yes, 11, 19, 20, 24. Those are his championship 4 picks. No to 5, 9, 12, 22. So he's got Byron probably winning his way in this week. Tired of multiple time champs, tired of drivers repeating. Thanks, Team Penske, for boring me the last 3 years. So they're trying to manifest a Penske pitfall. Guy says, was it Matt? Matt, no. Okay, was not Matt. 2015. I don't know if that's a Martinsville, Kenseth, Logano reference or what, but thank you, Guy. Jeffrey King says, Sunday on Google Trends, F1 was dominating NASCAR. I could believe that. F1 on social media absolutely dwarfs NASCAR. especially with the worldwide influence. That's for sure. Flying Cactus says, spending my birthday with my favorite NASCAR podcast. A bunch of celebratory emojis. That's awesome, Flying Cactus. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Thank you for hanging out with us some tonight. Can we get happy birthdays in the chat for Flying Cactus, which is kind of a crazy name. I like that. Bailey Reichert says, what happens first? Denny passes Busch and wins, or Busch wins another race. Denny's what? Denny would need 4 more before Busch can get 1. Great things are going. I think Denny can get there.
I'll go Denny passing him.
You're basically like, do you think Kyle Busch wins again between now and like
2
the
years
end of
from
next
now?
summer? Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Well,
Another one
even if Kyle wins one, that's not to say that Denny wouldn't still pass him. So
yeah, he still could. Yeah, that's true. Carson says, any of you podcast guys going to San Diego next year? Not for me. It's too expensive for gas when I went to the California races. Yeah, gas prices in California they'll make your head spin a little bit.
I'd like to. Just all depends. We have to wait and kind of see on it.
Maybe.
Yeah, same. I'd like to. I'm gonna do as much as I can to get out there, but
I'd promised my wife when we found out that she was pregnant that I would take the year off going to races, focus on stuff at home, get everything, just done right, focus on being a dad. And then I told her 2026 though, like, I don't know if coming back with a vengeance, but it'll be the closest damn thing to I'll be going to more races next year. That's for sure.
That's exciting. That'll be fun. Where are we at here? Alex Luff says, any of you guys dressing up for Halloween? I'm dressing up as my favorite wrestler, Edge.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I don't know yet.
So my wife and I, we were actually doing something pretty fun with our church this coming Sunday. And we're doing a special trunk or treat. And if you know how much that me and her have grown to love college football, you'll want to pay attention to my Twitter feed and what we end up posting from this event. So it'll be a very nice trunk that we'd set up for our trunk or treat.
I got it's not really going to work with my hats and headphones on, but I've got my Willy Wonka wig ready for Groovy Hollow next week. We got to get the candy back.
How the snozberries taste, Eric?
I don't know, because someone stole them and we have to race to get them back October 28th. You're not getting me to break character.
I don't think it's candy.
Oh, okay.
Can I fall in the chocolate river?
Where are we at here? Grizzly Industries, very generous super chat. Thank you, Grizzly Industries. Who has more beef? Denny versus NASCAR? Denny versus Larson? Denny versus Ty? SVG versus the field? Logano versus the field? Larson versus the haters? Bowman versus the doubters? Denny versus Mamba? Larson versus IndyCar? NASCAR State Run Media versus Mark Martin. There's a lot of beef. You could have a nice cookout with all the beef Grizzly Industries just laid out for us. But that's a tough one. I feel like the State Run Media, in quotes, versus Mark Martin has gotten a lot of Twitter attention recently. So maybe I'll go with that one. That one's funny. Final few here. We're in the home stretch. David Bell, appreciate the super chat, says, Eric, you didn't have Bell ranked in your power rankings back in August. Yeah, well, he had an off couple of weeks. He's like second. He's been second or third the past few weeks. So when he does
like
well,
that meme for the Netflix special. I guess I wasn't part of that, was I? Nope, you were not.
No, he had a rough few weeks. Finishes. Remember Dover? He spun out like twice from the lead, whatever it was. I know he had speed, but you gotta finish some of these races better, and he's doing that now. So he's high on the list. Final 2 super chats here. Lord Voldemort says, "Wonder if Jesus will show up looking for Ty Gibbs again." Okay. It's Halloween weekend. Good weekend for a good costume. And then finally from Santa Claus, nice list names continued. We got Ryan Blaney, Jamie McMurray, Connor Zillich, Raja, Dale Jr. Still not me. What do I got to do? What do I have to do, Santa? I'm getting worried now. Christmas isn't that far away. What do I got to do to get on the nice list?
Ho, ho, ho. Make a better power ranking. Ho, ho, ho.
Damn you, Santa. Santa does agree. Says, I agree with Danny. I sit in turns 1 and 2. Better seats, cheaper as well. So yeah, good view of the racetrack, good value.
He said finally, he agreed with Danny, he's going to take Bowman out of the naughty list. Yep, that's what I heard, Santa.
Love it. And finally, from Crash Travels USA says, random, but with 10 plus monster flavors. I wish we didn't see 3 of the same scheme. Mango Loco would have been perfect for Mexico City.
It has something to do with their branding. Like they only want to promote like their black and green image, and with a few small exceptions, because everyone would love the white zero sugar monster can as a car. Everyone would love that.
Agree. And sorry, one more just came in here from Jensen. Very generous. Thank you, Jensen. Another great show, guys. Looking forward to an exciting Martinsville Sunday. Have a great rest of your week, everyone. All the talk of beef has me looking forward to the large Loco Moco for dinner. Aloha from Hawaii.
Oh, yeah, you are the one from Hawaii.
Wow. Aloha to you too, Jensen.
Loco Moco. I got to look up what is a Loco Moco.
Sounds delicious. Very enthusiastic review here in the chat, but appreciate the support.
It's like breakfast type food. It's got egg on it.
Ooh, okay. Like eggs.
Oh, but it's like egg, beef, and rice. It looks like it. Definitely sounds Hawaiian.
Sounds good to me. I'm there. That sounds delicious. I'm getting hungry now. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out with us tonight. Really do appreciate the generous super chat. It's always fun to go back and forth with y'all every Wednesday night. You can see us again next Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. We will be on the Iceberg. This guy right here. Subscribe to his channel down below. Santa in the chat just confirmed that Alex Bowman's still on the naughty list. What did he do? He didn't do anything.
Please reconsider, Santa. I can vouch he's a good man.
And with that glowing endorsement, we are done for tonight. Thank you all for hanging out with us. Have a great rest of your week. Enjoy the Martinsville triple header. We'll be back to talk about it 1 week from tonight. Have a good one, folks.
Started off right now. Right on, come on.
Get outside. Rewind.
Unbelievable.
Green playing. We're going. I like the aggressive. We probably dropped a great car. You can go to all those guys up there. They can suck it.
What we're about to do is not a good idea.
All good. What is he doing? You gotta be kidding me.
Half the pack is flying apart.
It's so nice to see you at the line.
Oh, pack of cars come piling in as well.
Jump. Coming light. Here low. Come back on him.
That was incredible.